Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, good afternoon for once, instead of it's light out there still. Normally that's all dark when I'm streaming. Anyways, today's stream we will be doing an entry for the Trijam 12 tournament that is put on by Rock Knight Studios and looks like a lot of fun, and I've been wanting to enter for some time now. The objective of our competition this evening is to create a game start to finish in 3 hours, and if we can do so, then yeah, good news. And the theme for this week, they vote on a theme every week for each Trijam, and the theme for this week is who am I talking to? The screen. But anyways, the theme for this week is black and white. So I've got a sort of plan in my head of the game, and we're gonna just get started and start cracking away and see what we can do. So, kidoki. And who am I talking to, Viable Clan member? Just the screen, my friend. Just talking to the screen and trying to get myself in the habit of looking at my camera when I'm talking, but it doesn't really happen that way. Anyways, just gonna get everything open and all set up, and then once we're set up, hey, Captain Meowsome, welcome, dude. Black and white, well, the left cry, oh my god, clear racism. But assets might be easier to make, says Captain Meowsome. Definitely, yes. I've got some very basic ideas for what I'm going to make for assets, so it's going to be nothing fancy. But it's just, yeah, as simple as we can keep it, because we only have 3 hours. I'm going to just get a couple last minute things configured here, just mostly on the chat. 1-bit color, says Viable Clan member. Yeah, basically. Okay, I just need to make sure all the commands are up to date for the stream for you guys. And then, so this is tonight's issue. And I'm gonna update the issue command. Actually, I guess I don't need to have this off screen. This can be all on screen, no big deal. So, oopsies. Issue. That's tonight. And the repo for tonight is this one, the GitHub, and yes, and I'll update the localhost one just as soon as I have a localhost to update with. Anyways, so glad to finally watch stream versus YouTube. Yeah, Captain Marison, that's awesome. 3 hours plus or minus all the questions versus YouTube, or pre-recorded, because YouTube has gone live too. Right? Yeah. It's actually GitHub, Viable Clan member. The YouTube is just all pre-recorded, or re-uploads of streams and stuff. That's what I put on there at the moment. I'm trying to make more original content, but anyway, that hasn't happened yet. So, okay, that's all ready, and I guess basically we're good to go. We can start the countdown and get cracking on it right away. So, does anybody know a good timer app, or should we just use a YouTube 3-hour timer, countdown timer? Let's use this, might as well. With alarm. All right. SVN. Yeah, funny. Now hopefully it doesn't have any ads in the middle of it, because that would mess up our timer, but I think we're okay. I don't see any yellow bars. So, okay, 2 hours, 59 minutes remaining. Let's go for gold, guys. So first thing I want to do is, and I do apologize if I'm a little less active, a little less responsive to the chat than normal. That's just because, yeah, I'm really going to be grinding this out and trying to get as much as I can done in 3 hours. Anywho, here we go. So, git clone. Boom. And all I've done so far is just set up a repository for it. That's it. Repository and just an issued so that we can track the goals, my plan for what I hope we get done today. It's kind of ambitious. We'll see if we actually get through it, but anyways. Okay. Cloning has worked, so now we can go Trijam 12. And now, okay. I've got a little tutorial that I made for setting up the environment that I like, and I'm going to refer to it. It's only in draft mode at the moment, but I'm going to read it all the same, so you guys get like a sneak peek or whatever. Okay, so because we're in a hurry, I know that somewhere in here I set up a... Yes, here we go. So npm init, and then we can install our dependencies. All right. So npm init, oopsies, int npm init. Now just blow through all this stuff really quick, because at the moment, I'm gonna say unlicensed for that, because that's what I'm using. But yes, that's all okay. And we now have npm ready to go. So for our developer dependencies, these are the ones we want. I'm just going to copy that command. Hopefully this doesn't count as cheating. This is just setting up my development environment I like. I'm basically just installing Webpack, Webpack CLI, dev server, Babel, and a couple little things for CSS and HTML that go with Webpack. It's the same environment I use for all my games, but we're just bootstrapping it really fast because, again, time is of the essence tonight. Normally we have no real schedule or agenda, but tonight is different. Tonight we're going full ham. Now I did have somebody try this tutorial just to give me a bit of feedback on it. What the heck? Phaser npm. What is this? That's a typo. npm install phaser. What? Very confusing. npm install phaser I think is all that should be. Anyways, just editing my tutorial mid-thing, no big deal. But yes, phaser is our only actual dependency, our non-developer dependency, or production dependency. So that's all we need for production dependencies. And anywho, okay, so anyways, yeah, somebody was giving me a bit of feedback on the tutorial, and they did say that apparently maybe Phaser has updated a little bit since I wrote this, and there's a couple things that don't work quite right, but hopefully it doesn't hold us up too long. So, okay, that's all our dependencies installed. Let's take a look at our package.json, make sure everything's good, and that all looks hunky-dory to me. Now, next up, we'll create a source directory, which is where all of our code is going to live. And we'll add a touch.source/game.js. Captain Miasum, the tutorial looks awesome. Excited to read it. I could probably spend 3 hours just setting up the environment. Oh, dude, I totally feel that. And, like, I tried to make a video version of the tutorial, and truly the video version took me, like, 2 hours to explain everything, which was not ideal, as I wanted to make it, like, a nice, snappy tutorial, but instead, it turned out to be hours. Also, this is my website I was working on, but we need to open... Oopsies, not a file. We need to open a new folder. Open... where am I looking? Games, Trijam 12. Here we go. Oops, do want that open. Want package JSON, and now for our scripts, let's replace what's there with the thingy from the tutorial. Oops. Oops, I copied the wrong thing. Let's see. Just scripts, that's all we want. Anyways, yeah, hopefully if anybody from Rock Knight Studios is watching this, I hope that using my own tutorial for setting up the environment isn't cheating. If it is cheating, I am very sorry and I am disqualified, but I hope not. Anyways, what is this telling me? The Git repository has too many active changes, only a subset of Git. Oh, would you like to add node modules? Yes, thank you for doing that automatically. Cool, that's handy. Yeah, I don't actually talk about Git in my development tutorial, so my environment tutorial, so that's actually maybe something I should touch on. But anywho, not the point. We gotta blast through this as fast as we can so we can get on to making the actual game. So we now have a start, build, and dev command, which is all good. Should work nicely with our dependencies. And where is my browser? There it is. Now, yes, anyways, we'll be able to run those in a minute. We need a webpack config file next, so let's go touch webpack.config.js. And now I go through how to build it all in the tutorial bit by bit, and we also need a Babel RC. Anyways, I go through how to build all the stuff in the webpack config bit by bit, but in this, because we're trying to do this in 3 hours, I'm gonna blow through this in as fast as possible and just basically skip to the final version, and yes, hope that it all works and requires minimal adaptation and fixing and whatnot. So we also need, by the look of it, a source/main.css, so touch source/main.css. Okay, now we have a main CSS, and in our game.js we'll import that main CSS. So nano, what am I doing? I've got an IDE open. I should probably use my IDE. So source game.js, we'll say import /main.css, like that. Hopefully that works. Oh, I think not sure if my code in the tutorial would work quite right for that. But anyways, lastly we need an index for the last little file we should need. So we'll say index.html, and we'll say HTML, type HTML. Fine. I know Sublime had a really handy little HTML thing where you could, it would give you like a little boilerplate HTML file if you just typed HTML or something, but anyway, whatever. Doc type HTML, HTML, head, body. Why not start with a boilerplate or Next.js? I mean, yeah, maybe. It probably would have made more sense for the purpose of this game jam, but we're already basically halfway through, mostly done, so might as well just finish it now. But you're right. It probably would have made more sense to have something that we could have came up with some pre-built stuff. Let's call this game canvas. Okay, needs JS, yo. Last thing I need to do is, because I can never remember this by heart. Let's say responsive meta tag. I always refer to this same CSS tricks tutorial. I've been doing it for years. You'd think I would have remembered it by now, but no. And I'm gonna add one extra thing here, and also I'm gonna skip this song because I'm not a fan. Sorry to that one song, I always skip you, but anyways, there's our responsive meta tag, but I'm gonna add one extra property that is user scalable. I think that's how you spell it. No. Prevent them from scaling our page ourselves. Oh, whoops. Oh, Nightbot is talking about the wrong project. That's my normal project that I stream, but that's not tonight's project. So ignore Nightbot tonight, guys. Sorry about that. Anywho. Okay. So now let's finish setting up our environment. Oh, I've already got it there, but anyway, whatever. Need JS bro, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, where's our final... We need to just get the final Webpack config. That'll contain the HTML plugin, the mini CSS plugin, and the copy Webpack plugin for copying our assets. I believe that's this version. So let's go like this. Yoink. And we will go into our Webpack config, drop that in. Hopefully this will be just dandy. And then it's just a matter of setting up our phaser game. And I have an example of that in here too, but I'm gonna deviate a little bit from it. Also, I've got typos by the look of it, but yeah, we're gonna be deviating a bit. So here we go. So import phaser, and you know what, here, let's copy it, but then let's change what we need to change. So go like that. Now this is quite a lot to dive into without testing yet, but we'll make our new instance to our game too, right here. Blank. And yeah, so now I'm importing scenes and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that just yet, so we're gonna clear all that out. And the width and height is at the moment preset, but we're gonna change that to window.innerWidth and window.innerHeight. So that way it'll scale, it'll be the size of the page no matter what when they load it. If they change the orientation, it won't quite work. We need it to reload properly, but we're not going to bother with that right now. We're just going to have some basic stuff. And for our CSS, we're just going to say HTML body, margin 0, padding 0. So that way there's no margin or padding on the game, or on the page that holds the game. And okay, so now that we have all that in place, give an extra line just to pretty it up a bit. And okay, so now I believe the thing that doesn't work anymore is phaser auto. I feel like they deprecated that or something, so we're gonna have to deal with that in a minute here. And we are gonna need a scene of some kind. So I guess, yeah, let's make a new directory in our source called scenes. And in this one we'll make a, let's say, preloader scene.js. We'll go import scene, oopsie daisies, from phaser. And we'll go class preloader scene extends scene. And all we're gonna have right now is just a create function. Or actually, I guess we need to create and a constructor. So we'll go construct, oopsie daisies, it knew what I wanted. There we go, constructor. And we'll say super, pass in a key that we can reference this scene with. So we'll say super, and let's just say scene-preloader. Now we can reference that from other scenes when we want to link to or from it, or whatever. Or just to, I suppose, but anyways. So our create function for now is just going to say console.log, great, success. Alright. I believe this is another song I don't like. Sorry guys, all these songs I don't even like on my own playlist. How dare I? Now, okay, now that we have, oh, one last thing actually, we need to say export default preloader scene. So that makes it available to import from other files, which is exactly what we're going to do right here. So we're going to say import preloader, should make it, hold on, just to make it a little cleaner. Well, I shouldn't worry too much about code cleanliness, I suppose, since we're limited to 3 hours here. So preloader scene from /scene/preloader. And we'll drop that into our scenes array, preloader scene. Okay. Now, this is the moment of truth. This is when the bugs are going to start flying, I imagine. I think we're done with that. And should have added make environment as a to-do, because how long have we sunk into this so far? 15 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. So here we go. Moment of truth. We'll say npm run start. Let's see what happens. Hey, it's running at localhost 8080 without exploding. That's a good sign. Okay. Is this the game? Oh yeah, okay. We've got a canvas running a game. It's kinda... not really sure why it's got a big white space at the top, but hey, great success. It loaded our preloader scene. Perfect. Oh, and Webpack is just complaining because we don't have an assets directory yet, but that's okay. We can deal with that some other time. I suppose, what else do we need to do? What is this? Oh, because we're not passing in our canvas properly. So it's making a canvas and it's, okay, yeah. Because this canvas isn't grabbing anything, it's just game canvas. We must have changed the ID, so what's ours? Oh, just game canvas with an underscore, so change that up. So game canvas. Now we shouldn't have a big white streak at the top. Although the theme is black and white, so perhaps that could have been our entry. Uh-oh. Must set explicit render type in custom environment. Aha! So now this is what I believe to be the new thing that Phaser is complaining about. So must set explicit render type in custom environment. All that means, as far as I am aware, is that we can't use the phaser.auto anymore, and we have to just say WebGL or canvas. In our case, we're just going to want to use WebGL because WebGL is awesome. We've still got a scroll bar there, which is a little bit disconcerting. So what's that all about? Maybe we just need, in our main CSS, to say canvas, and we'll set it to display block. See if that fixes our scroll bar. And yes, it does. Okay, so now we have a mostly successful environment. Great success is coming from our preloader. And the only thing it's really complaining about is that our source assets doesn't exist yet. But that's fine. We'll add that when we start creating characters and visuals and stuff for our game. So, all right. Oh, seeing as I do have localhost running now, hold on. I'm going to do one thing so that you guys can have a little bit more fun and test this game alongside me. So we'll say copy ... / no place like / ngrock or ngrock to / ngrock, or just let's say dot to dot ls. There we go. We've got ngrock now, so I can say / ngrock and say http port 8080. Now we should get a URL for you guys. Copy that. Paste that. Uh-oh, invalid host header. Now we had a solution for that in my other game. So let's grab that really quick. So less / no place like / webpack config. And I just need to grab this little bit of dev server configuration, yoink, and throw that in our webpack config. And this should be it for configuration stuff, hopefully. Dev server right there, like that. Don't really need the comment or the extra comma. Okay, now that all worked. Let's just run ngrock one more time, and then you guys will be able to test my localhost alongside me, as long as all is well. Uh-oh. Oh, but I didn't restart my server. That would probably help too, so let's try that. Reboot that. Okay, don't need that right now. What we do need is this. And there it is. Okie dokie. So, guys, viewers, so there is a link to my localhost, so you guys can tunnel to my localhost and play the game as we build it. Very exciting. I'm also just going to hit up Nightbot really quick and update my custom command so that anyone joining us in the future can run the command, get the link, blah, blah, blah. Play the game with us, you know? You know what I mean? So there we go. So you can go right to that link, or you can just say localhost, like that. And then there you go. You can tunnel to localhost here, blah, blah, blah. Not that it's very exciting right now, it's just a black screen, but we hope to be changing that over the next 2 hours and 39 minutes. Good lord, 20 minutes, 21 minutes wasted on the environment setup. Oh dearie me. That's okay. So next, okay, so first thing on our actual agenda tonight is to create some assets. So we need a basic main character with an animation, just a running animation, running and jumping, I suppose, jumping and run, jump, and fall, and a white tile for creating our maps on the fly, and just a little diamond, an outline of a little diamond to collect. So let's get cracking on those first, shall we? Get my handy dandy tablet ready for us. Okay. Yeah. Awesome, Captain Meowsome. The local host working okay for you, hopefully? You can open up the... It'll just be a black screen right now, but if you open up the console, it should be saying great success, just like my console. Okay, so... Working great. Excellent. So yeah, let's open up GIMP, and let's get cracking on creating our assets. Now, normally I would spend a lot more time on making assets and I'd try and make everything a lot prettier, but for the sake of our game today, I'm just going to create some really basic things. And our character is really just going to be a little black-colored dude with just kind of like really... He's going to be like a silhouette more than anything, is what my thought process was on this. So, okay. Zoom it on in. But I've got a neat idea for a visual effect that I think is going to work really well and also be kind of like a user interface thing, so it's going to tie in with the gameplay a little bit, but it's going to be a neat visual effect for our game when we get to that part, but we're not there yet. We got to keep going first. Actually, you know what? I am going to give us a white background just so that I can see, because he is going to be, it's going to be because the theme is black and white, so we need a background, and we'll just say fill this with white, and for some reason it called that layer arm left, but I'm not going to complain about that. I'll just go here and start drawing our dude. So, and our dude is really just going to be a super simple animation for character for this game. We'll just say kind of a square head, or you know what, I'll zoom in a bit to make, let's say, or zoom in, or I'll draw him really big. Maybe I'll draw him really big. That's probably a better way to go about it. So we can go like this. And I was kind of thinking of him like a hammerhead shark. Don't know why, but oof. This is what I struggle with drawing in oh wait, no, that's not going to work. It needs to be sort of from the side, so. But yeah, this is what my eternal struggle with drawing with my tablet on my computer is. I can't draw straight lines to save my life. Something like this, perhaps? Or this will just be his standing pose. And again, this would be the kind of thing that like we might animate normally, but that looks a little funny. So really it just looks like a T, but that's okay. I've just, arms at the side, so you have to use your imagination a bit, but again, this is the kind of assets we end up with a 3-hour game jam. It's basic. Straight lines are boring. Oh, gives it more character. Oh, cool. Well, that's a nice way of looking at it. So now I'm going to draw with the eraser. I will give him an eyeball, kind of like a glasses or something. Something like that. Mouth? Nah, no mouth. Just glasses. Sure. So he's something like that. This is our hero from the side. It's got kind of like a hammerhead shark sort of look going on, but that's okie dokie. So, now that we've got him, let's get him over into his own canvas that is properly sized. So, get this nice and snug with his edge. Just give him a little bit of padding perhaps, but not much. And same with this side. Again, a little bit of padding, not much. But on the feet, we're going to go with basically no padding, so that hopefully he'll be flush with the ground. And again, a little padding on the top, but let's just find the highest point. It's hard to say. Let's say around here. Something like that. Okay, so boink. There's our character. And I am going to leave that as transparent for the background. But I do just want to test something really quick. I'd like to see what he looks like without this little black part in his eye. Actually, I kind of like that better. It's almost like he's wearing like, or wait. How about that? That looks cool. Let's go with that. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants, especially for the graphic side of things. But anyways, that's now the canvas for our character, so we're good there. And what are we looking at here? We're 877. Looks like a peen, says QQ Sly, QQ. Mr. Sly, it looks like a peen. I suppose, are we talking about... Oh yeah, his glasses. Actually, I see it now. You're right, you're right. Let's see. Can we rectify that a little bit? What if we give him an ear as well? So like... I don't know. Nah, that's not really making things better. Well, you know what then, so be it. His eye sort of looks a little bit like a peen. It's just gonna have to be the way it is. But I'm gonna give that little cutout again, because I did like that. There we go. Supposed to be sunglasses, looks like a peen. It'll have to do for now. We've only got 3 hours after all. Okay, so this is frame 1. So we're 877 by 909, so we have to do a little bit of math now to figure out our full sprite sheet. So, because I can't do math, I'm going to defer to my calculator. And let's see here. Basic mode is exactly what I need. So we've got a width of 877. So how many frames are we going to have in total? We're going to have a standing frame, which is what we're looking at right now. We're going to have 2 frames for his stepping, I suppose. 2 or 3? I guess just 2, really. Yeah, 2 is probably enough for a running animation, for our basic running animation. So 877, so that's 3 frames now we're up to. Then we're gonna need a falling frame and a jumping frame, and I suppose kind of like a crumpled, like dead frame. So that's 6 frames. So 877 times 6 is, wow, 562. Oh, right, but we're gonna have to make this smaller too. Hold on, I should do that before I move on at all. So let's say, look, we'll make it what? What would 877 divided by 3 look like? Yeah, that's about good. So, okay, so 292, let's just say, times 6. So that's what our actual sprite sheet is going to look like for terms of width. So we need to go File, New, that for our width. Now, what's 909 divided by 3? Hey, I could do that in my head. That's 303, right? 909 divided by 3, 303. Oh yeah. See, I'm not completely hopeless at math. Except, yes I am actually, but anyway. Okay, so that's our sprite sheet. Our final sprite sheet, that's what that's gonna be. And I'm gonna do a little bit of image magic here for us to help out our lives significantly. We'll say configure grid, and our grid size is going to be 292 by, oh, we don't want to link that. We want it to be vertical 303. So let's see. Now we'll say view show grid. I'm clicking the wrong thing. Show sample points, sure. But show grid, yes. So now that's each frame of our grid. highlighted for us. And last thing we'll do to make our lives easier is we'll say snap to grid on. And we'll, as always, say add alpha channel, remove that. So now we have a grid showing us our frames outlined. And I do still like working with the bigger image, so we're gonna work with this for now. But we'll copy and paste it into the, or we'll paste it into a new image first, I suppose. Okay, don't get too bogged down on this, Kirk. Come on now. Yeah, we've got one frame, so let's do it. Let's say, again, what is it? We're looking at 292. No, hold on. Yeah, 292 by 303. So 292 by 303. Add our alpha, oopsies, not alpha to selection. We want to add an alpha channel. And we'll say copy him into the new frame first, resize him, get him all placed nicely. Boop, boop. And size him down to width 292. Keep it locked, it should be 303, it is. Drop him onto the layer below. And the preview has like some yellow in it on the outline. That's funny, but anyways, whatever. It looks fine for me. So now we can copy him from here and drop him into our first frame. Hopefully that's actually lining up properly. Yeah, perfect. So that looks to be fitting into the frame. Good. Good, we've got frame 1 of, what was it again, 6? 2, 4, 6, yeah. Frame 1 of 6 done. The other frames are not gonna take that long to draw, that's the whole point here. So basically, for the other frames, just gonna have quick, make this real quick here, we'll do. Don't judge me on my animation here, this is pretty bad, but it's gonna have to do for our 3 hours. We're just gonna have 2 keyframes for his running animation. Something like that for one of them. So boom, boom, copy that. Paste that. Realign. Doop, doop. Scale it down to 292, lock it in. Scale that. Anchor that down. Copy this into the second frame of our animation. And now we get to draw the third frame. Which will, in my mind, will look something kind of like this. And try that again. Try again, shall we? Something like that. Again, not ideal, but we're just going ham here. Alright. Now one of his legs is strangely thick, but it's okay. Not really the end of the world. Erase down some of it a little bit, make it a bit more how it was before scale-wise. Okay. And you know what, actually, yeah, one little tweak I want to make here is I'm just gonna say, yeah, we're gonna move this down a little bit to give it the impression that he's sort of stepping down a little bit for this one. Cool. So let's paste this in. Boom, boom. And scale it on down. So 292, 303, all that, good, scale. Oopsies. Control A, C. Now for frame 3, we now have that snapping into place, and there it is. There's our third frame, so we're 3 of 6 now. We're halfway of our character animation, which is the majority of what we have to draw. The other two things are super, I mean, this is super basic as well, but anyways, the whole point is it's basic. Oops, don't want to clear that completely. Do want to move that back up. And now we need a jumping animation. Something like this, so kind of like a Mario style, you know the deal. Or hold on, more like something along those lines, you know. Yeah, that ought to do. Just tidy this up ever so slightly. Cool. All right. There's our kind of leap animation, or our leap, not animation, just frame. What's going on here? Oh, I still haven't even put it. We didn't even anchor it. That's okay. Didn't seem to complain. Okay, so that, this, that, 292, yada yada. Rest is a formality. Now we will anchor it this time, just because I don't know if it makes a difference, but anyways, well, that was the process, kind of. So now let's move this guy into place. Should be about there. Anchor that down. Now we have 4 frames of 6. All right, we're almost through the animation side of things. So, well, lastly, we'll go something like this. Do like a falling one. So falling one can be maybe like both legs kind of going forward. So we'll say something like that, and something like that. That's kind of my vision of him falling, something along those lines. That looks slightly like what people look like when they're falling from a jump, maybe. Some universe. Delete that, paste that, align it, scale it, anchor it, copy it, paste it, and put it into place. Go. Now we need the final frame, which is kind of him going splat of some sort. This is going to be him when he gets killed. Will be this frame when he dies. So I'm thinking, why don't we actually draw him straight, looking straight at the camera this time, kind of like spread eagle, and we could have like him rotating in the game, so it's like he's like spinning off the map, doing like a in midair cartwheel, whatever that's called. I should know what that's called. I did do gymnastics for a long time, but I don't remember what that's called. So, draw his... Actually, you know what? Let's keep him there, and instead of deleting him, we'll lower the opacity on his layer. Come on. let me drag. There we go. Lower the opacity on the layer, add a new layer above it, and then we'll use it kind of like an onion skin. Onion skin, onion skin, onion skin. And we'll draw his, well, yeah. So now he'll be more in the center, because he's, again, he's kind of like a hammerhead shark sort of guy. Really can't draw straight lines for it to save my life. Or, well, I guess it doesn't have to be totally straight. So something like that. Something like that. Something like that. Both his arms out now. Well, that was what we forgot to animate, was his arms. But too late now. Now we'll use the eraser again, give him his shades, which will look something like... You know what, his head actually should be a little bit smaller from the front, now that I think about it, because his head's kind of longer than it is wide. So cut it about there. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Cool. Now we can just go doop, 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 doop. And we get him his glasses, finally. Oh. That's the paint tool, we need the eraser. And I don't really know what I'm doing. Now I'm just making stuff up, but hopefully it doesn't look like a peen again. Anyways, there we go. Now he's got some sort of whatever. Oh, you know what we should do? I know what we should do for this. We should carve out. No, you know what? I'm taking too much time on the graphics now. I'm starting to waste time. We only have 3 hours. Okay, got to keep that in mind. So used to going off little tangents all the time and taking forever to do anything, so there we go, that's him dead. No, I'm just gonna, oops. Lessen his leg size a little bit again. Both sides. There we go, something like that. Make him actually have hips and sort of, yeah. Okay, anyways, that's good. Alright, here we go. So now we don't need that layer anymore. We do need this. We need to paste it and scale it and all that fun stuff we've been doing. Doop-de-doop. So align it, scale it. 292. Scale. Anchor it. Looks solid, says Captain Meowsome. Thanks, dude. We'll, we've got the hardest part of the animation done now, so that's a blessing and a half. So there we go, that's our sprite sheet. So I'm gonna say save as, we'll call it, I need to put it in the games, Trijam 12, source. Now let's make our assets folder, the one that it was complaining didn't exist before. We'll say GIMP for this, and we'll say, I don't know, MC, let's just call him MC, yeah, for main character. I always use MC for main character. And MC will export to the main assets folder as a PNG. So there we go. Now we have our sprite sheet, which is really the, unless we get through everything and we have time to do the nice to haves, then that's really the only sprite sheet we're going to be making. The other two we're going to make, now because this is close to 300, I'm just going to make our tiles for the map 300 by 300. Or, yeah, 300 by 300, that's fine. So Might scale it down in the actual game, but for now we'll just say 300, 300. And this is going to be very easy. We will just say, yeah, fill white, dump it to crumpet. Boom. Now we have a white fill. Add an alpha channel, and just to make it a little more interesting, we'll go kind of like this and just use our eraser tool and have kind of something like that. Something like that, around something along those lines, because he's not really gonna. The bottom of the platforms isn't really gonna matter in our case. It's more just the top that we're interested in. So, or you know what? Actually, to keep everything simple as simple, let's just make it a square. So our tile is just gonna be tile. I don't really need to save the GIMP version of that because it is literally just a 300 by 300 white square. So there's our tile. What was the last thing we needed? Let's check the issue. So we need a white tile for the map, diamond to collect. Right, we need something to collect that's gonna like give us energy. So what I was thinking would be good for that, we'll also make this 300 by 300. I was thinking something that might be cool for a collectible thing. Alpha to, oops, did I say alpha to selection? Add alpha channel, there we go. What I was thinking would be a good little thing for the theme I have in mind is something along the lines of this. I'll lower my brush width a bit to like 15 perhaps. That'll do. I was thinking a little floating diamond, sort of like this, or hold on. Like a little skinnier than that, so more like something like this. Just something for us to collect as we're running through the game. Yeah, you know, something like that. Looks fine. Works. Hopefully it doesn't look like anything dirty again. We'll call this Diamond. You know, I think I'm going to get rid of that GIMP directory too. We don't really need to save all the GIMP files because, like, really, this is for a try. This is for a game jam. This isn't a game that we're going to likely be continuing on and working on for years to come. So let's get rid of that. Move to trash. Oh wow, not the whole assets directory. Yikes. Just GIMP. Move to trash. There we go. So now, there we go. We have our MC sprite sheet, we have our tile for creating our maps, and we have our diamond, which is whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so make assets complete, and took us 50 minutes to get there. Yikes. That's not less than ideal. But anyways, now we get onto the code, which is the exciting part, and now we'll actually start having something to test, yada yada, etc. So let's see. Let's go for it. Let's won't need Webpack config, won't need our CSS, won't need our HTML, won't need our package JSON, will need our game. Okay, so for our preloader scene, let's first of all preload our stuff, as that is the whole purpose. We'll make a nice preloader later if we have time, but for now we'll say this dot load dot, not preload, get out of here, load dot sprite sheet. Give it a key, we'll call it MC, just MC, and we'll say it's in assets slash, we called it just mc.png, right? I believe. Now, I've got our sprite sheet loaded, we'll load our image for our map tile, so we'll say tile, and we'll call it, we'll say assets slash, I can't remember what I named anything. Just tile. Wow, alright, very original. Tile.png. Okay, this.load.image. Now we just need our diamond.png. Oopsies, we don't need to call it .png. That's just the key. Now we'll say assets/diamond.png. So now, if that all worked, we should have loaded into memory our assets. Let's take a look what happens when we load our Uh-oh. Ah, right, because we need to pass a little bit more configuration to our sprite sheet. My bad there. We need to say frame width. Oh, and now I'm suddenly wishing I really hadn't closed GIMP. Shoot. And I closed the calculator too. Damn it. What was it, 292 by 303? Let me take a stab at that. I think that's what it was. Does my grid remember? That's a mistake I always make, is closing my image editor or my map editor far too soon. So frame width, yeah, I'm gonna just take a guess at this. 303, 292, shit. Okay, let's just, oh, I know how we can figure it out. No, wrong game. Trijam. Source. Assets. How much time left? Says Sly. We have 2 hours, 7 minutes left. So, burned quite a bit on making assets and setting up our environment, but hey, it's done, so... Okay, let's see. Diamond, MC, we want MC. Properties, image properties. I know, not doing, I know. This is my first time ever doing this, guys. It's, I'm not sure how good at budgeting my time I am. We will find out, apparently. So 71952 divided by 6 frames. Yes, 292 width by 303 height. So 292 by 303. Frame width, 292. Frame height, 303. Okay, let's see if we can get it to stop complaining, shall we? What does our local host say? Hey, local host says, great success. Wonderful. Doing a great job, says Captain Meowsome. Thanks, man. You'd still be setting up the environment. Hey, man, it all, you know, I only just really cut and paste from that tutorial. It's not nothing fancy, but it's all good, man. It all comes in time, right? Anywho, so we've loaded in our stuff. Good. Now, with our create function of our preloader, what I'm going to say is this.scene.start and pass in the key of our... Really, this would be our title. Normally, this would be our title screen scene, but in this case, I'm just going to say, I don't know, game, scene, game, just so it's going to load and take us right into playing the game, because we don't got time for no title screen. At least not yet. That can be a nice to have at the end. So now we need a new thing called new scene, called game scene, JS. And we'll start writing it out here. So we'll say import scene from phaser, and we'll say class game scene extends scene export default game scene constructor, and we'll super the key as always. So super, and we'll pass in scene game. And what else do we need? We need nothing in the constructor, so that's fine. And we'll have our game will definitely have a create function, and it will definitely have an update function. So make use of both of those phaser functions in a moment. Well, for now we'll just say console.log in the game. So now we need to, in our game, import it, our game bootstrap loader, whatever the hell it's called, import game scene from /scenes/game scene, and then like our preloader, pass it into our scene array. Oopsies, we'll say game scene. Okay, let's see. In the game. Okay, so it never hits the, or it does hit the create function of our preloader scene, because that's what moves us over to the game scene. And then inside our game scene, we load in the game. So we now have a game. Well, we don't have a game. We have, whatchamacallit, a black screen that says you're in a game. And look at them fingers, you're kind of cute, says Sly. Well, thank you, Sly. Those fingers, my fingers are ratchet. They're all beat up all the time and messed up, but thank you, I appreciate it. Anyways, okay, so we're in our game, we have our stuff loaded, so now it's time to start drawing stuff on the screen, I dare say. But we need to be kind of smart about how we're doing this, because we need... Okay, hold on. Let's actually check things off on our goals. I just realized. Oh, we did already. Too bad. Anyways, now we're creating the randomly self-generating map. So basically, it's just creating islands at different heights, and this is all going to have to be relative to our character, and... Yeah, simple island generating system with increasing difficulty. We'll worry about the difficulty later. But for now, we just need it to randomly paint islands in front of us. Someone's calling me, but I'm not going to answer that because I am in the middle of something important. Get out of here, number that I don't have in my phone. Go away, phone. Okay, randomly self-generating map. That's what we're doing first. So, for our randomly self-generating map, generating map, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need to, first of all, well, this is in our create function, so this is just where we're initializing it. So we'll say init. So first of all, we'll do 1. So let's say create a... Now I'm not really sure if we should be using a container or a physics group here, but either way, create a container to hold our tile or our islands. 2, for the init stage, we want to draw a start island, which our player will init on. And 3, I guess that's really it for the initialization phase. It's going to be the update function that the interesting stuff happens. And that number is calling me again, and they really want to get in touch with me. That's annoying. But have to call them back some other time. Sorry guys, we got a time crunch on our hands. So anyways, now we're going to say this is our update phase. So the update phase of the randomly self-generating map. Not really sure why I capsed that, but anyways. So what it's going to do in the update function, it's going to... although actually, I suppose there's 2 ways we could go about doing this. We could draw out an entire map in the create function and have it just ready to go and just run through the whole map and not worry about generating on the fly, or we could generate exactly what's coming up on the fly, which is how I was originally thinking of doing it, but it might be easier to just randomly generate in the create function, and then the maps could also have like an end, which would be kind of cool. So it won't just be a run forever kind of game, it could be like a run to the end of the randomly generated map. Yeah, let's do it like that actually, that's cooler. Executive decision. We're not doing much in the update function anymore. We are. So draw out the start island, which our player will init on. Out. On. So 3. Loop and generate a series of islands at varying heights, and we'll say in brackets, if we can manage to do this, and increase... you know what? No, we're not going to bother with that. Yes, we are going to bother with that. So, and increasing distances apart. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So, okay, so first thing we need to do is we'll say const map container equals new container. We're gonna, oops, not service worker. We're gonna need to import container from phaser. But I think Okay, what the hell is this number 1? This is the 3rd time they phoned me. Sorry guys, it's not happening. So anyways, we're actually, container comes from game objects, so we're going to import game objects and say const container. Oops, actually we'll use some ES6 fanciness. We'll say container, destruct it from game objects, like so. Equals new container, and I need to look up the phaser docs for container. So phaser 3 docs container. Okay, sorry guys, I don't know what this number wants, but this is like the 4th time they've called me, so I'm just gonna like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna answer it and tell them I'm busy. Hello. What? Who? Okay. That was pretty weird. That was a little creepy. Sly, I don't know if that was you, but someone just called and said, "You've got cute fingers," in a whispery voice, and then hung up. Not creepy at all. Kinda wish I didn't answer that. Anyways, so we're passing in a scene, X and Y for the container, and then any children of the container. So, let's see. First thing we're gonna wanna do. Well, I guess our container is going to be, yeah, actually, I don't think we want a container. I think we want a, you know what? Might reveal my noobness, as I often do on a stream, but let's say we'll go with Phaser 3 tutorial, because I know they have like a, yes, making your first game in Phaser 3. And somewhere in here, they talk about building platforms in static groups. That's what we want. That's what we want. We don't want a container. We want a static group. Okay, so boom. We'll say const. Let's call this, let's say map group equals this.physics adds static group. Yeah, that phone call is kind of freaking me out. I'm hoping that that was just a friend of mine trolling me or something. Kind of a weird troll, but whatever. Wait, really? Yeah, really, Captain Meowsome. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. I don't really know. Don't know if that was actually Sly, and if that was Sly, how you got my phone number, but if it wasn't Sly, then I don't know. Whoever that was is weird. Anyways. It's all mind games. They're just trying to derail my game. They want me to lose. We won't give them such satisfaction. So, let's see here. Why did it take you so long for you? Why did it take so long for you to pick up? So was that actually you, Sly? That's weird. Don't do that. Because I'm in a stream. That's why. I don't usually look at my phone in a stream unless someone calls me 4 times. Anyways, so we'll go map group. Okay, my phone's ringing again, but I'm really not answering it this time. I don't know who you are or how you got my number, but I really don't appreciate this in the middle of a live stream. Not to make it all serious now, but yes, I don't appreciate in the middle of a live stream this business. So, in addition to, so whoever's phoning, they must be watching the stream here. Whoever's phoning, please stop. Fruit, Sly QQ. Wait a second, is this Kelly or something? I don't know. Who are you? But anyways, this is the phone now is upside down on my bed. I cannot see it. It's on silent. Yeah. Okay, so whoever, seriously, I've never had to ban someone from my chat before, but really, Sly, come on now. Just play nice. So let I equals 0, I less than, we'll say, oh, it is Kelly. Ha! Okay, I see. Oh, hold on. Wait, is that just like I don't have your number in my phone because I keep forgetting to add you to my phone? Oh, thank you, killing it. Okay. So no worries, Captain Meowsome. That is actually my friend in real life, just trolling. But okay, just wanted a 5-minute troll. Okay. Well, we'll give you a 5-minute troll. Sorry, I had to go all serious there. But but really, this is crunch time. We've got 1 hour 53 minutes yet left to make a game, and we haven't even gotten a platform yet. So, and save your effing number. Yes, I will. Anyways, all right, so the length is going to be some arbitrary number that sort of relative to the length of our map. So for now, let's just define it as a constant up here. Again, kind of dirty, but that's just how we're going to roll. So we'll say const map length equals, let's say, this is going to be the island, the number of islands, or so yeah, let's say map num islands equals, let's say 100, or let's say 50 for level 1. I don't know. So map num islands I plus plus. Yeah, he's my boy. And you're gonna go smoke out. Peace out, bro. Geel. Sounds good, man. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Okay, so anyways, now we're looping over our islands, so we'll have a nested for loop, and we'll say let I equal, or let's say let t equals 0 for tile, and we'll say t is less than, let's say math.floor, math.random times, so I don't know, it could be as big as 10, or let's say 5, so it's always going to be 5, so we'll say 5 plus math.floor, math.random, 5 times 5, so it could be anywhere from, in my mind, 5 to 10, if that logic makes any sense, but probably doesn't, but we'll find out soon enough. Also, what do I have? 1 too few, 1 too many brackets? What's going on here? T plus plus. What is it not liking about my syntax? Come on, we don't have time for this. I need another one, I think. There we go. Captain Mousem, you gotta bounce. You'll catch the rest of this tomorrow. Good luck, you're crushing it. Thanks, man. I'll try and get this one uploaded a little bit more promptly than my other ones, but the other ones are coming too on YouTube, so hopefully they'll be there for you to watch soon enough. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so this is going to be our island drawing, map drawing logic. So, okay, so first things first is we're going to need a constant y value for the island, so we'll call it island y equals this. Sounds great, looking forward to it. All right, man, it's awesome. So const island y equals, we'll say, you know what, I'm gonna make our lives a little bit easier and steal a generate random int, arbitrary int, whatever, off of Stack Overflow. A script. Again, this is another one of those questions that, like, you'd think I would have remembered how to do it by now, but it's another one of those things that I just steal all the time and never actually rewrite myself. But, and again, we're being, well, here, let's make it a class level function. So we'll say delete that, and there we go. We'll say const oh wait, it's actually updating the arguments, so sure, okay, that's fine. Alright, cool, that works. So we'll say plus, so 5 plus up to another random 5, so get random int 5. Okay, and same for the island y, it's going to be, let's say, let's say island y offset, actually, because it's always going to be offset from origin. So we'll say, gee, I don't need my tablet here anymore. I don't know why I'm working around this when we're not drawing anything anymore. Let's move that. Okay, that's better. So island y offset equals, let's say, get random int. How about, I don't want it to be super drastically different between the islands, so we'll just say like 4. Because again, these are like 300 by 300 tiles, so that could get pretty big, but we could scale them down if that becomes a problem. So anyways, let's get out of the conceptual stuff and let's get something that actually works, shall we? So island y offset, so we've got an island y offset, now we need a tile x, which is going to be const tile x equals t for our tile iterator times 300 for our width of our tile. And we'll say, now we'll just say map group dot, what's the function he used? Create, and we pass in an x and y, which is our tile x. And, oh, actually, you know what? It's not quite that simple. We need to say t times 300, but we also need to add in our offset for how far into the map we are. So we'll say, I suppose it would be what? I times 100 plus t times 100? I think so. I times 300, I mean, plus t times 300. I think that should work. So tile x, and then island y offset is simpler, so we don't need that. So map.create that, and we just need to pass in the key of our thing, our ground, or whatever it's called. So I think ours was just called tile. And okay, let's see what happens when we load this, shall we? See if we've got any kind of map that's shooting off the edge of the screen, which is what we're hoping for. Get random int is not defined. Ah, yes, that's because we're calling it incorrectly now. We have to say this dot get random int. This dot get random int. There we go, let's try that again. Okay, I'm not seeing anything, but no worries, we'll figure it out. So, okay. Let's just say log what we're doing here. We'll say console log create a tile at tile x plus island tile, oh, island y offset? Yes. Okay, let's see what happens, what this is going to log. Hopefully a lot. Ah, but nothing. It's not logging anything, so there's your problem. Map island nums, is that nothing? No, that's 50. Okay. So it looks like we're not... Are we entering... So that's creating a tile. Let's say... create island at, let's say I times 300. Okay, see what if this logs anything. There we go. So now we're creating some islands. So island at 0, 300, 600, 900. Good, so we're stepping by 300. That's what we want. Or whatever, yeah, I'm not going to analyze this too deeply. We're stepping by 300, so... Okay. So we're creating islands, but we're not creating tiles for those islands. So what's going on with that? T equals 0, T is less than. What's being generated here? Let's take a look at this. Let's log this as well. Say const island width equals that. Say island width, and we'll log that just so we can see what's actually happening here, because my guess is this is going to be 0 or something for some reason. Oh, nan. Okay, it's not a number. So what's going on with this? Get random int isn't returning an int? Is that our problem? What's happening? Let's see if we get rid of the arbitrary 5 and just say get random int 5. What happens then? Still nan. Interesting. Oh, right. It would probably help if I passed in a min and a max. Goodness gracious me. Get random int 0 and 5. And again, 0 and 5. Ay, ay, ay. Silly me. What a newbie mistake. Let's move on and see if we can... There we go. And look at that. We have some tiles. They're huge. They're ginormous, actually. Way too big. But they are being passed in, and they are... Okay. So we've got something. So let's make a little bit more configuration here. We'll say const map y offset equals, this is just going to be like what relative to origin it's going to be. I'm going to say minus 600, or let's say minus 400. So now, when we're drawing the tiles, we want to include in our y offset, we want to say, right here, we're going to say something like this. We'll say the get random int, sure, that's fine, but we'll say, oh, hold on. Oh, wait, we needed to do a little bit more on this anyways. We're not actually randomly, this is just moving it by like pixels, like 4 pixels at a time. So get random int 4, so we need to say times 300, and then we'll say plus, oopsies, map y offset. Okay, so hopefully this all makes sense. See what happens. Okay, got one randomly drawn up there, which is not really ideal, but you know what, I am going to set the scale down and see if that accounts, or if it starts adding spaces in between everything. We'll say 0.5, so we'll set it to half scale, dot refresh body, I think is the thing you have to call. Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, refresh body. Okay, so now we do have spaces between, but we've got much more reasonable sized tiles, so that's good. The Y offset is good because it's pushing it down by 400 pixels, which is what we want. But now the problem is that, yeah, I think we're having gaps now between our tiles. So really all we have to do is just, because we're scaling it by, this is kind of a dirty update, but instead of 300 for the tiles, we're going to be modifying by 150, because, you know, half of 300, 150, yada yada. So now they should all be stuck together again, yes. So that's good. And they are random, so I mean, that's a win. But the only problem is I'm sort of hoping to have like... okay, so we're randomizing the Y offset every time we draw one, so that's not quite right. We need to, right when we're defining the island width is where we also need to define the island Y offset. So this should keep all of them grouped on the Y axis. Ooh, dear, now we see nothing. Oh, but hold on, what am I doing here? Yeah, no, that should be fine. Might make a little bit more sense when we get our camera centered on our character when we do eventually add him. Holy cow, I'm realizing how much more of a challenge this is than I thought. Wow, this is tricky, my guys. It's, you think 3 hours is a lot of time, but then you start doing it and you're like, holy cow, we're about halfway through now, and we don't have much to show for it, unfortunately. But anyways, that's okay. We still have, as much as we've used an hour and a half, we've also got an hour and a half left. So let's see here. So we've got our island width, which is the width in tiles, right? So let's see here. Island width, tiles. Island width tiles. Now island Y offset we've got figured out, more or less. Let's see if it... Oh, actually, you know what? It might be working actually a little better now because it's certainly grouping them together, so that's a good thing. It is drawing some on top of the others sometimes though, which is still a little weird. But then I'm not really sure where in the world I'm actually looking at this either, so we've kind of, okay, let's just take a look at our goals again here. We've got randomly self-generating map. Yeah, so we need to have some gaps between our tiles as well. So I guess where we're generating the... Yeah, where we're generating the width for the tiles, we can also generate the gap. So we can say const... yeah, this should work. So we'll say island gap equals, let's say, I don't know, just say this dot get random int between 0 and, really we want the max gap to be like 3, maybe 3 tiles. So 3 tiles max. Or let's actually make it between, because we don't want a 0 gap, we want... Actually, sometimes a 0 gap might be nice, so sure. 0 and 3 times... I'll just up it a little bit, we'll say 0 and 4 times 150. Island gap offset. Okay, island gap offset. So now we need to say... The tile X is going to be all that stuff we figured out before, but plus our island gap offset. And actually, I'm going to make a little ternary expression here just to make it a little bit more tricky, but it's all good for a good cause. So we'll say I greater than 0 question mark that. So if I is more than 0, make it this. Oops. Make it that. Or if I is less than 0 or equal to 0, which will only be at the start, we'll just make the island gap offset 0. So that way, on the very first tile, where our character spawns, hopefully it shouldn't be ever the case that our character just spawns and falls right off the map immediately. Is my theory in making that. So what I'm hoping to see is that... What I'm hoping to see is not what I'm seeing, that's for damn sure. I'm hoping to see that it's always starting somewhere around the edge here. And... Oh, it could be that our island width... Yeah, I think... Oh no, it's because it should always be... Oh, you know what I just realized is I'm using this function wrong. Why don't we just actually use the function properly, and instead of making life difficult, we'll just say between 5 and 10, like that. So let's see if that works any better. Yeah, still pretty scattered, not what I'm hoping for. Okay, so... our logs here, see what's happening. Create island at 0. First tile is at 0 and minus 100. Sounds pedantic. Oh, wait. Excuse my pedanticism. No place for pedanticism in a game jam of 3 hours, but alas, do what I want. So create a tile or an island, and then within this first island, we're creating 3 tiles. Ah, okay, here's a theory on why it's sometimes half cutting them off. we should actually. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't really matter if the origin point is in the center, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am going to worry about is the fact that we're not always generating one at the start. That's my real issue here. As soon as we get that working, I can move on to building out the running logic, hopefully. So, first tile is at 0x, 200y. That's good. Let's reload it and see what happens. Now, this is an example where this is not desirable. So now we're looking at, oh, is it just that it's like up from the screen or something? It's still there, but it's just, Okay, well, it's a little bit buggy, but we'll circle back to this. Well, no, hold on. I do need to get it, make sure. You know, I've got a thought here. Why don't we add our character in, and center the camera on him as it's going to be in the final game. So then we're looking at things the same way that it will be in the final game. Y'all feel me? Okay, so randomly self-generating map. Okay, we got that. Now, add our MC and focus camera on him. So we'll say const, or actually no, not const. In this case, we want to reference into the update function. So we'll say this.mc equals this.physics.add .add sprite? Is that how the syntax goes? I can never remember. I think so. Pass in XY first, I believe. So we'll say 0, 0, 0. Pass him, drop him right at the origin point. And we'll say the sprite we're interested in is MC, which is, I think, what we call them. Let's take a look. MC, yep, that's our sprite sheet. So physics add sprite, 0, 0, MC. Now, we just want the camera to focus on him, and I can't for the life of me remember the syntax for that, so we're gonna open a file from my other game and just quickly reference some source code that I know exists in here somewhere. I believe it's in the base level. That's camera main. And where else is camera main? We want, here we go, camera main start follow. I'm even using the same variable name, so that should just work right out of the box. So let's see what happens now. This should be a lot more exciting. Oop. Okay, we're dropping. There's our character, and we're passing the map. We got to add a collider with our map for one thing before we're ever actually going to hit it, but yeah, it's not always there to catch our fall, which is kind of the issue, right? Well, it looks like there is always one drawn, maybe, in the correct X position, just the Y position is a little off. So yeah, why don't we, instead of randomizing the island Y at the first one, we'll have, yeah, something like this. We'll do another ternary in here. We'll say if I is greater than 0, then do that. This. That. Oops. Come on. There we go. That. Do that. Or just have the Y offset as the map Y offset, right? -4, oh no, -400 would be going the wrong direction, my bad. Okay, so 400 might, there we go, now there's a map below us. Now is there always a map below us? That's 2 for 2. Yep, 3. 4, one more and I'll be happy. 5. Okay, so now there's always a map below us. Perfect, that's what we want. So now we have to, I'm gonna say randomly generating map is working. It's definitely got some issues, but that's okay. We can fix those in a moment, or we'll fix those as we go. But the basis of it is there. So now we get to move on to the auto run system. Oh goodness me, the auto run system and one press jump system. Shouldn't be too hard. Basically, we're just setting a constant velocity and making him show his animations accordingly. So let's do that. So let's see. First things first. Well, first thing, before we do anything, let's add some physics colliders. So we'll say physics colliders. So we'll say this dot, again, this is syntax I can't remember quite off the top of my head. Is it just this dot, maybe physics dot add collider? And it would be good if I spelled physics right. Physics dot add collider between this dot MC and this dot. It's not even this dot, is it? It's just map group. Okay. See if he now lands on the map. Hey, look at that. He lands on the map. We're definitely also going to have to scale our guy down. I just realized that. So we'll say this dot MC dot set scale. Make it like 0.25 maybe. Might be too small, but we'll see. No, that's about good. And actually, you know what? I'd like to scale our map down even more too, because I was hoping that the tiles wouldn't be much bigger than he is. So what would... Let's bust out our calculator again, shall we? So calculator will say it was starting at 300 times 0.25. Gets us to 75. If I was any good at math, I'd be able to figure that out on my own, but alas. And because we're lazy, we'll go 150, replace that with 75. Doink, 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 doink. Okay, and now 0.25 for setting the scale. Okay. Great. Let's see how our map looks now. And there it is. We've got much smaller map, which is ideal. What we're looking for. I don't know why it's like adding them, like stacking them like this. That's not really what I'm going for, but whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. So now let's add our... You know what? The order that I had it in here was first we would add the auto run system, but we can't really see our character if it wasn't for our physics box. So the faded contrail system might have to come first. So for that, I'm definitely going to have to defer to some other source code from my other game, but alas, we can do that. We have the power. So let's see here. So physics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do we need? We need to add now a contrail. So we'll say, or yeah, add a contrail, and we'll just always update the X of the contrail to, yeah, I have a plan. Add the player contrail emitter, which is going to be a fancy, or let's say particle emitter. Add the player particle emitter, which is just going to be a neat little effect that is kind of the whole like bread and butter of this game as I was picturing it. So add player particle emitter. So first thing we need to do is go, well yeah, first thing we need to do is open another file from my other game that we're going to have to defer to. We're using it much differently in this game, but it's okay. It'll be a simpler use case in this game. So scenes, no, we want, or yes, we do want scenes. We want sprites. We want, God, so much. NPC, Africa fight, I think. Where are we actually configuring the bullet emitter? Or is that being passed in? Oh, it would be in create, wouldn't it? Oh, maybe it's in the level again. Source. Scenes, levels, base level. here we go. We need to create we need to create particles, and then we need to create a particle emitter. I don't know what this set radial is doing, but I'm going to snag it. So, in this case, it's not going to be bullets, it's going to be contrail. Contrail. I'll say contrail emitter. It's contrail dot create emitter. And instead of dummy projectile, we're just going to use tile once more. Now, scale, we want it to start at small and get bigger, I guess? Yeah, so... yeah, start small, get bigger. It's also going to be fading out at the same time, which is what our alpha function is handling. So start small, get bigger. 1 is definitely going to be way too much, because that'll be 300 by 300. Let's just say, like, go from 0.05 up to 0.25. Or maybe just 0.2. Don't need that. Don't need that. The speed we'll just not worry about too much right now. The angle, however, is going to be important, because this is going to be a fixed angle. So 330, that leads me to believe this must be in degrees. So let's just say 0 degrees and hope that that's pointing straight up. If it's not, it might be 90, but anyways, we'll figure it out here. Quantity 1 for now, we might double it up in the future. Now, we don't have a death zone or anything like that for this, so we don't need to worry about that. We're not worrying about blending, so we don't need to add that. And yeah, I don't know what that set radial function is, but I'll leave it for now. So let's see how this looks. Whoopsies. Do we now have... there we go. Okay, so 1 isn't the direction we want. Let's try 90. So angle 90. See if that's pointing up now. Now it's pointing down, so what about 180? Oh, okay. Third tries the charm. 270 angle. Let's see this. There we go. Now it's pointing up, which is what we want. Although it is actually a little smaller than I was hoping for, but this makes the speeds a little different, a little more varied. So, say maybe 300. And gravity-wise, definitely not going to be 0. We want it to be like, let's try just a small one to begin with, 50. Cool, looking alright. And what else? Lifespan 500, that's fine. 50, let's make it a little more, let's say 100. And now the alpha, this is just our simple fade out function, so we don't need to worry about that. That's working as it should be. And you know what, I am going to make the starting scale a little bigger. Let's make it like start scale. Well, hold on. Our tiles are the same size as our character, so why don't we start it as the same size as our character and just make it get bigger. So I was thinking 0.5 would be a little too big, but let's just take a look. Actually, that's pretty decent. Maybe a little smaller to begin with and a little smaller to end at, but really close. So end 45 scale. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so now let's attach this collider so that he's always updating. Our collider is always positioned where our character is. And again, this is something, I think it counts as a game object, so I think you can use set position, but we'll just double check. Emitter. Set position? No. Okay, that doesn't come up there. Let's try in our character. Bullet emitter dot set position. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you can just use set position. Cool. So in our update function, we'll say this dot contrail emitter dot set position, and we want our MC dot. You know what? Even better. Instead of constantly referencing this, why don't we get a little bit of ES6 magic here and go const MC contrail emitter equals this. So we're destructuring that. Contrail emitter set position mc.x, mc.y. Let's see if it now follows our character, which is what I'm hoping for. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Only other little thing, this is a little thing, we're just gonna set our origin of the MC, which is like his origin x and y, to be on the x-axis 0.5, so that's in the middle, but on the y-axis we'll set it to 1, so that should be flush with his feet. Yes. Yeah, perfect, that's good. Okay, good news. So now, what have we got to do now, next? We need to layer things a little bit better, so layer things. We'll say this dot, first we'll layer the map, so we'll just say map group dot set depth. This will be at the bottom, so that can be 0. Why don't we actually use 1 as the first depth, and then we can go up from 1. So first layer is the map group. Layer above that would be the MC. No, layer above that would actually be the emitter. So this dot contrail emitter dot set depth 2, and we'll say this dot MC dot set depth. He'll be right at the top, so he'll be 3. And let's see if that now shows our character in front of the emitter. Uh-oh. Contrail emitter dot set depth is not a function. Dear me. Perhaps we need to just do it on the contrail itself. Contrail. Oops. There we go. And now we have our character with his little depth. But you know what? I'm still thinking our character's looking a little big, so why don't we, instead of scaling him to 2.5, put him down to 1.5. See how that looks. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now we have our full Super Saiyan kind of character on the go. And we do now have the fade, well, it's not faded, but it is a contrail system working. And, oops, I'm in the wrong thing. No, I wasn't, I was in the right thing. I'm gonna close out of these ones because we don't need to reference any of that code for a while now. But, okay, next step, wow, why is it going down? We might have to look at debugging our map generating logic here shortly, but that's okay. I figured we were going to have to debug that along the way. So, let's have a look here. We've got our character with his cool contrail. Now, yeah, we need to hook that contrail into like an energy variable. So, let's right up the top here, we'll say init some vars. We'll say this dot energy equals 0.1. So he starts very low energy is the idea, and the further along you go, the faster you get, the further you go without hitting things, the more energy he has, and without doing like special abilities, if we ever get to that. I'm not 100% sure, because how much time do we have now? We're at 1 hour 15 minutes. Actually, that's not bad. We got through a lot in that 15 minutes, so hey, shout props to us. That was not so bad. So energy starts at 0.1, or actually, why don't we, energy starts at 10. This dot max energy equals 100. Same idea, same thing. It's just we're going to be dividing 10 by 100, but it'll get us the same number. So one thing I want to check is in our alpha function here. What's the scope of this function? If I go console log this dot energy, does it know what that is? I hope so. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we'll say, how are we going to do this actually? Because so t is the time elapsed as a scalar value. So we kind of have two scalars on the go here. We're going to say 1, so it's going to be 1 times, here, let's make it a little nicer. So we'll make a variable. We'll say const energy scalar equals this dot energy divided by this dot max energy. So that gives us a scalar value to work with. So now we're working with two scalars. We're saying, in fact, actually, we don't even really need. Yeah, actually, we don't need to say 1 times. We can just say energy scalar minus the time scalar, because it's still going to be fading out the further it goes, but it's going to be faded based on his energy level as well. So starting at 10, yes, it's quite, his energy's quite low. You're not seeing a whole lot here. Well, that's not quite what I was going for. Let's see what happens if we do it 1 times. I'm just curious. Does that make any difference? Let's take a look. No, it will be the same. Of course it's the same. We're just timesing by 1. Again, me and basic math don't get on very well. So let's see. Energy scalar minus time scalar. Why don't we say energy scalar maybe like just times 2, just double it. Just to make it a little bit more visible. Or, well, what was it? How did it look before? Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. At the start, the whole idea is he's quite low energy, and perhaps there'll just be a whole bunch of stuff for us to grab right at the start to increase our energy, so it'll be okay. Yeah. So let's see here. But for now, we'll just make him max energy. So he's 100 out of 100. Now that should be the full, like, intense pillar of squares blowing up off him sort of thing. Welcome, viewers. If you want to test my game, the game we're creating tonight along with me, hit up the ngrok URL there, and you'll be tunneled to my localhost. And okay, so we now have the scale. We're scaling the opacity of the contrail here by his energy, as well as by the time that it's been active. So that's how we get the fade out effect going. So that's very good. Now, oh, you know what I just realized? I bet you we can do this. Oh, I know what we can do. Hold on. We'll say energy scalar times, we'll say 1 minus t. Now, I bet you this might look the exact same, might look better. Oh, right, we've got max energy, so that's what he'll look like when he's max energy. Let's drop it down to 10% energy. Hey, that's better. That's more like what I had in mind. Perfect. So that's his 10% energy level. Now let's see, 50%. 50% looks pretty better. And 100 is full ham. This is his Super Saiyan mode. There it is. Cool. Alrighty, so now, let's see. Started at 10. And let's just take a look quick at our to-do list. So we've got our faded contrail system to contrast MC with black background that doubles as energy meter. We can check that one off. We need to get the auto run system going now. So it falls onto our map, and basically we just need to set a constant X. So actually this is going to be really easy for the auto run. We'll say, actually we'll do the camera following last. And then we'll say this dot MC dot set view velocity, I can't type, velocity X to negative would be left, so we want positive. We'll just say, this can be another configuration thing. We'll say speed, this dot speed, and we'll define speed up here as, let's say 100 just to start. See how that looks. There we go. So now he's falling in a direction, and he'll just keep moving along our map until he hits a wall or something. A little slow, so why don't we up that to like 250. Okay. 250 now. How's that? That's better. Alright, cool. Now we can actually see a little bit more of our map. Again, of course, until he crashes into a wall, but still, that's good. We can see that our map is generating randomly off to the right side of our business, our screen. So, let's see. Now we've got... Okay, so what next? I suppose... Or actually, you know what? We're going to initialize speed to 0, and then, bear with me, in the update function, on every frame, we'll check, we'll say update speed, and we'll say this dot speed. To make his speed sort of bound to his energy level, we'll say this dot energy divided by this dot max energy, and we'll say times, so it's a scalar value that's going to scale his from his, let's say, create a max speed. And his max speed, let's just have it as maybe 500. Max speed 500. So right now he should be going 500. Oh, he's not. He's going nothing. That's no good. Oh, but that's because we're only setting the velocity here on create. We need to move that down here and have it so that he's always updating his speed in the update function. So there we go. So, oh right, he's at 10% velocity right now. So his max maybe should be a little higher. Let's say max of maybe 800. Now, how's that? Still slow, but he is at 10% energy, so we would kind of expect him to be slow in this case. Although, you know what? Nah, that's too slow because... Yeah, we'll need to... Let's implement a min speed as well. So we'll say this dot min speed equals maybe 200. And... we'll just say speed equals this dot min speed plus let's say max speed boost, or max, yeah, that's fine, that works. And just, I like to wrap everything in brackets really nice and neatly. So this dot min speed plus this dot max speed, or the scalar times max speed boost, max speed boost, and 800 is probably going to be a bit much, so let's bring that on down to like 400. So his actual max speed would be 600. There we go. So now he's always at least doing 200. And then that's at 10% energy. Let's see at 100% energy. It's going to be flying at 100%. Whoa, sweet. It looks cool. Alright, the only thing that is a little bit of a bummer is when he's flying at that speed, he's going so fast that the contrail is kind of getting behind him and you can't see the front of his face half the time. So I'm just going to offset the contrail to be in front of him ever so slightly. So instead of MCX, we'll say MCX. For now, we'll just throw in an arbitrary thing. We could make this dynamic in the future, but we'll come back to that. For now, we'll just say plus, like, I don't know, 50. I don't know. Let's see how that looks. That's a bit much, actually, so plus 20. There we go. Still kind of flickering face on the go, but anyway. Oh, that was it. Was that the end of our map? Did we make it? Cool. Okay. Yeah, I still want to address that flickering face issue in the future. So you know what, I'm actually just going to leave it, and we'll come back to that if we have time, because that's kind of just a minor visual thing. But let's start him at 50% energy, and let's see what 50% energy looks like. 50's a little slow, maybe. Unless it was just a game that was lagging, because that does happen every now and then, but... Okay. 50's okay. So, let's just up that min speed a little bit. Let's see 10 again, because I remember 10 being almost that fast. Oh no, 10 is quite a bit slower, I mean. So, our min speed, let's make it 300. And yeah, all the rest can stay the same. Okay, sure. Hey, Light Azure. Oh, and Von Mirax. Sorry, guys. Shout out for the follows, you two. Thank you very much. Normally I would go into a whole like spiel about thank you and how you're helping me on my endeavors and stuff, but we are short for time on this stream, so I gotta keep plowing along on this one. But thank you guys for the follows. Much appreciated. Okay. What are we thinking? Is that still too slow? Oh, it was lagging. Aha! Okay, that's okay for a min speed then, actually. It was just lag. That was lag that was bringing us down there. So, okay, we've got... So where are we at now? I'm not even gonna keep the repo open because I don't really need that. That was another 15 minutes. So we're down to an hour left, guys. We've got an hour to finish off our little game. So, okay, auto run system. We need a jump hotkey now. Oh, actually, you know what else we need? We need to update his animations. So, show correct animations. And you know what else is we need to actually define those animations, which is another thing I'm going to reference my other game for as a example, because for the life of me, I can't remember the syntax for that. Just haven't done it enough times yet, you know? So I know we did that in our preloader scene. It's going to be around about here somewhere. But those are all the fancy ways of doing it. We just want the simple one, which is this. Like so. So now in our preload function, scene, whatever. Oops, wrong one. Preload this one. Oh, hey, QQ Sly. Kelly, shout out for the follow, dude. Okay, so now in our preload create function, before we start the scene, we're going to create, like it says, create some animations. So first one is going to be MC run, and the key we're my neighbor for sure, man. Neighbors for life, that's what we are. So anims generate frame names. Generate frame names? Huh, weird. Didn't know that's what the function was called. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing with these functions. But now we need to take a quick look at our actual sprite sheet, which, you know what, actually I can bring up in VS Code, so let's do that. MC. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for our animation, for our running, we want to alternate between frame 0, 1, and 2. So 1 and 2. So in our preload scene, let's go like this, so we can move that there, and yes, that's nice. So we want to start on frame 1, go to frame, 2. Frame rate, I'm gonna make quite a bit less than 12, so 6 FPS, something like that. You're learning how to code. F school. Fair enough, man. It's worth it. I will help you anytime you want, man. Join. I was gonna say, JK, this is so much math. You're starting to grow OP. Fair, man. Well, whatever path you so choose, I will support you, sir. As long as you're not like addicted to anything really hardcore, because then I'll say, hold on now. I'll be that guy. Anyway, so show the correct animations, blah blah blah. So we've created our animation. Now we hold on, let's create a couple more while we're here. So even though they're not really animations, they're kind of just single frames, but whatever. MC idle is going to be one that we kind of never use actually, but it's going to be frame 0. What? Read that again. Read what again? Oh, read your message again? JK, this is so much math, you're starting to grow OP? Starting aggro OP. Ah, I see. Wow, really? Dude, nice. That's alright, cool. I'm bad for that. I misread messages all the time. So, aggro op. Yeah, you can tell I'm on here a little too much, maybe. Like, grow OP, grow op. Yeah, okay, grow op, I see. Nice. Well, fair enough, dude. We do live in Canada, so we're allowed. For anybody watching this in the future, don't worry, we're, yeah, like, not OP. Yeah. Whoops. Anyway, so our idle stance, running stance, we'll call this one jump. And that's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. So start on frame 3 and end on frame 3. The rest is kind of useless because really we're not actually animating anything. So we got jump, we need fall. So fall will be start on what? I suppose 4. End on 4. The last one will be die. Die. And he will start on frame 5. We're bandits. Hell yeah, dude. Anyway, so that should create his animations. Now back to our game scene. We don't need that open anymore. Now we'll actually start the animation. So I think I remember the syntax for this. We'll give it a go. But first we need some conditions. So we need to say if this.mc. I'm really trying not to defer to my old projects too much, but they're really helpful to have like source code examples there when you need them. This.mc, fine, we'll look it up. So, see Africa, somewhere in here. I know what I'm looking for. Here we go. Velocity.x and a velocity.y. So we want velocity.x is greater than 0, and this.mc. It's not touching, it's blocked, I think. Down. Hey, Mr. Demon Wolf, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. We've got an hour-ish left of game making time, and yeah, hopefully we can crush out something playable in an hour. Having issues, Monkas. Oh, right, Monkas is one of the emojis I don't have on here yet. Having issues? No, we're powering through. I'm just referencing some source code from another game that we were the game we usually work on, just as some, just to help us speed things along here. So we want, so if velocity x is greater than 0 and he's blocked down, I think is what we want. Yeah, it is blocked, is the property I was thinking of. So if blocked down, meaning he's touching the ground, we'll say this.mc.anims. Is it play or start? Hang on. Such a noob, I have to refer to my own code so many times. Anims.play, there we go. So anims.play, and the one we want is mc dash, I think it was run is what we specified. That will be in our preloader. MC run, yes. Oh, you're having issues. Oh dear. What's going on, man? MC anims.play run. Now let's see if he's running when he touches the ground now. Uh-oh, we're erroring is what we're happening. Cannot read property X of undefined, and that's coming from game scene 116, which is transpiled, so actually, mc.velocity. Oh, interesting. Oh, well, for one thing, we don't need the this dots everywhere, for one thing, so let's ditch those. Let's see if that helps us at all. Probably not, but yeah, still cannot read X of undefined. Velocity? Did I... Oh, body.velocity. That would help. Body.velocity. Password won't update, peep hands. Yeah, these are all emojis I don't have, I think, but type error user.change password is not a function. Ah. I'm not sure, good sir. Damn. This is body again. Body.blockdown. Let's see. There we go. Now he falls and he kind of skates, which is not what we're looking for. Alright, Mr. Demon Wolf, I'm gonna have to, normally I would check out your code here on the stream, but we are on a time crunch this time because I'm trying to make this game in 3 hours and we're down to 53 minutes. Holy hell. So, yeah, I'll check it out after, but I can't check it out during this one, I'm afraid. But anyways, why is it only showing the first frame of his run and then it's not... What's going on here? Are we defining the... Definitely looks like he's skating, which is not was not the intention, but whatever. And for one thing, I think we actually can move that up to maybe 12 frames per second. And let's see. So falling, falling, falling. Yeah, our run animation looks pretty goofy. If we have any time, I would like to fix that up a little bit, but whatever, it'll do for now. Like he's skating. But why is it not? Why is it stopping the animation when he's actually running? Let's see here. Like when he's falling, it's fine. Let's go to something in our console to see this here. Okay, there we go. So he's running, but it's... So do we have to just hit it once, or what? Yeah, it's like when I'm not saying play, he's, well, just for the sake of my sanity, what happens if we do this star? Maybe it's something to do with the destructuring. Nope, doesn't look to be. Weird, okay. I don't remember us having that problem with my other game. Ah, but I'm missing an argument. That might help. Oh, it's probably... This is probably the looping argument. Ah, okay, here we go. Oh, whoa! Dragon... Rub-a-dub! Yo, man! What's up? Whoa, hey, everybody! Raid! Damn! Well, hey, look, everybody who's new for what's going on here. I can't explain it a lot because we've only got 51 minutes left, but I'm trying to finish off this whole game in 51 minutes. So far, we've got a auto-running system, we've got a really goofy running animation, and we've got a contrail system which indicates how much energy your character has at any given time. So that's, currently he's got 10%, we'll hit it up to 100%. Who's Richmond Stallman? How are you? How would Richmond Stallman approve of this? Oh, yeah, who is Richmond Stallman, actually? I have no idea. Also, sorry if I'm not quite as up on catching everything in the chat as I normally would be. I'm really focused on getting this game working. So this is like full energy. This is full ham. We've got a little issue where the contrail lags behind him a bit, but basically this is full energy. This is what he'll be running at when he's totally hyped up. Why 51 minutes? 51 minutes because this is my entry to the Game Jam, and we'll say the Trijam, which is a game jam where you try and make an entire game start to finish in 3 hours. And if you check out the GitHub repo, there's a link in there to the Trijam website, and yes, that will give you all the information. He's like the Pope of free software. Oh, yes! Oh, Richard Stallman. Sorry, I know who that is. He has long, or at one point had long hair, didn't he? Yeah, hold on. I do know that. My apologies. Yeah, this guy. Okay. This is the picture I was thinking of him. This picture. Not that picture. Well, anyways. Getting derailed here, but yes. Right. Focus! Yes, I'm on it. Anyways, yeah, okay. So that's full ham, full energy. And we're going to make it so that when you run into a wall, you die. for one thing. For another thing, there should be gaps here, so we're gonna have to debug some of our map logic here shortly, but we'll deal with that when it comes. For now, I do just really, my goal is to have something submittable. So we've got 49 minutes to make something submittable. And yeah, okay, so energy, we'll start him with 50%. Rub-a-dub TV distraction. No purpose, really, just for fun. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Let's just check out our to-do list really quick. So we need the jump logic, and then we can close out that last to-do. So let's do that. For now, I'm just thinking, what, like press space, or let's have it so you click anywhere on the thing. So why don't we, in here, wow, I'm having a brain fart, hold on. That's the animation logic, so we'll keep that separate. We'll have jump logic, and we'll say this dot, what am I thinking of? I'm looking for the pointer, so that, where does that live again? Ayah. Game scene. Game scene input, that's where it lives. We want, let's try active pointer. I have no idea what that does, but we're gonna try it. So we'll say const active pointer equals this dot input. Okay, so now we have our active pointer. So we'll say if active pointer dot is down and mc dot body dot blocked dot down. So if he's touching the ground and they press the main pointer, whatever one that might be, I'm hoping that'll alternate between touch and mouse. But anyway, so if they push a pointer and the MC is touching the ground, then we will say mc dot set velocity y to negative this dot jump height. We're gonna have to define that jump height up here. Or actually, you know what? Let's do the same thing we're doing with speed. So, or maybe jump height should be constant. Yeah, I think jump height should be constant. So let's just keep jump height constant, and speed is the one that changes dynamically. So this dot jump height equals, let's just say 350. I don't know. You feel like the streaming would make it much harder to interact with chat. Keep coders on their toes. Yeah, we're here to make it harder, says Rub-a-dub TV. Funny. We don't need that console log anymore, that's just gibberish. But jump height, okay, let's see if our jump logic works. It should be click to jump now. Boink! Oh, yeah, there we go, we've got a jump. We can jump! Click, and he jumps. Perfect. I think the jump's gonna need to be a lot higher though if we're gonna make this game playable for sure, so... Yeah, okay, so higher jump, let's up that a bit. And then I'll stop fiddling with configuration stuff and get on to making, like, the actual mechanics that we need. Whoa, okay, that might be a little crazy high. I said I was gonna stop fiddling with mechanics, and let's say now, 500. If we don't break your train of thought, we aren't trying hard enough. Okay, so we're gonna have to iron out this map generation logic here in a minute here, because for one thing, it shouldn't be generating all that shit underneath us right now. I don't know what that's coming from, but yeah, one more playthrough and see how it looks. And you've got to remember, this is 50% of our max speed. We can go 50% faster than this, so this game's going to be hard, apparently. And because what I'm thinking is when you crash into a wall, it's going to kill you, so... Like, if you hit that wall, whoa, now we're under the map. See, that's not ever supposed to happen. You'd give her. Keep her, focusing. So, okay, that's something we can check off our checklist. We've got auto run and one press jump, so done. So double jump system that releases blah blah. Okay, so double jump, we'll come back to that. Death conditions is what we're gonna do next. So we need like a death system. So, okay, so first of all, let's say this dot is dead. Wow, thanks VS Code for all that. What the hell is it even doing? This dot is dead, can't type, so starts as false. So we'll say his speed will be if this dot is dead. So if it's not dead, then we'll be updating his speed on the fly like this, as we were before. Otherwise, if he is dead, he comes to a dead halt. Oh, actually, no. Why would we do that? We could just have him like, hold on, this is going to lead to a way cooler effect. What am I talking about? However, we are going to want to disable all the logic if he is dead. So, if not dead. Oh, good night. Oh, did you change your name too to Bro G Kush? You claimed it on Twitch? Well done, sir. That's my buddy there, and he's got one of the best usernames I've ever heard in my life. Oh, you're not heading to bed. Dragon Slayer's heading to bed. Okay, take it easy, Dragon Slayer. Thanks for showing up and hanging out, buddy. So anyways, if he's not dead, do all the logic we had before. Otherwise, we'll do his death logic, which will be simply playing the... Oh, we need to disable the collider too. That's a little thing I didn't think of. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, mc.anims play, what is it? MC dead? MC die, okay. MC die, and doesn't really matter if we're looping or not, but we'll just say it is. Yeah, you're chilling, my G. Nice, man. Cool, man. Cool to have you here. Thanks, bro. So if our anim is playing, so okay, we're playing our death animation. Don't need to worry about if that. We are playing that. So playing our death animation, and we'll also say fc.set rotation. Basically, we're just going to be spinning him around in his little death picture there. But I don't remember how to access the thing that I'm trying to think of, the words. I don't know. Switch is dead to true for now, just so we can see that log. Okay, arcade sprite. Ooh, arcade sprite. They've changed the interesting. They changed some of the... Okay, whatever, not important. I'm just noticing the little cool things here and there, but okay, so he is showing the right sprite. That's cool. We need to also just grab the rotation, let's just take a shot and say console log mc.rotation. I don't know. See if we get lucky. Hey, we did 0. Okay, perfect. So we'll say mc.set rotation, mc.rotation plus, let's just say like maybe 35. I don't know. So now he should just be rotating. Wow, that's a bit extreme. Oh, and you know what? Now I just realized we're going to want to not... I messed around with his origin point earlier. We're going to want to not do that if we're rotating him. So... And 35 was extremely fast, so let's try... Oh, it's probably a scalar, so it'll be plus 0. Let's say 0.2. Okay. There he is. He's spinning now. Haha. Cool. Alrighty. So that's what he's going to look like when he's dying, but he's going to kind of do the little Mario death where he flies up and then falls off the map as he spins like that. So, okie dokie. Or why don't we set the... Hold on, got a neat little idea here, and then I'll stop fiddling with things and keep it moving, but we'll say get his energy scaler, or yeah, energy. That's how we're determining his speed. So yeah, we'll set it to his energy scaler. So if you die with low energy, he'll rotate slowly, but if you die with high energy, he'll rotate faster. So 50. Oh wait, you know what? We're gonna have to do divided by 2 just to make it so it's not like as crazy. But there we go. Cool. You feel like this would be a good test when applying for a game dev job, says Dark Wizard. Yeah, totally. That'd be fun. That'd make job interviews a lot more fun. They should put you in charge, Dark Wizard. Now, am I offsetting that emitter? Doesn't matter. We'll come back to that later. We're working on the death condition. So this is what happens when he dies. So we're setting the rotation. That's all good. We also need to disable... you know what I'm going to do right now to make our lives a bit easier? Let's just create a die function. And we'll say this dot is dead equals true. So that'll update our stuff in our update function, or trigger that anyways. Then we'll say, okay, so if he is dead, then... okay, so if dead is true, that goes all through this stuff. We also need to disable the collider, which I have no idea how to do. So to Google, phaser 3, disable collider. Remove collider / overlap, yes. Collider object dot destroy. Your functions returns a variable. Physics world colliders destroy? Nah, let's try this guy's way. I think his is good. So it returns an object, and then that object has a destroy function. Cool. So where we're adding our collider here, we'll say this dot map collider equals that. And then we'll say in here, this dot map collider dot destroy. Now hopefully that should make it so that when he's dead, or when we call this die function, he'll no longer be touching the map and he'll just fall off the map. Hello though. Oh hey man, sorry I got started a bit late, but
what time did you start?
I don't know. I've got 36 minutes left.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
That's good. How's it going?
Good, dude. We're just making it so we can kill our sprite now.
Yo,
our
you
bad
got
guy.
15.
Oh yeah, someone raided the channel.
Nice,
my friend
bro.
Rubadub. Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. Okay, so it's almost cooler if he just ran through the map like this in his death state. But anyways, it's like he's cartwheeling his way through the game. But all right. We need to trigger that die function in a certain situation. So that situation is going to be down here. In our update function, we'll be saying check if MC dies. We'll say if not this, we've already destructured him. So if MC dot body dot blocked dot, it's only ever going to be the right side, so blocked on the right. Then we'll say this dot die. Or actually, why don't we change that function name to kill MC? That makes a little bit more sense, because this is our... Again, we're not worrying about scaling up this code, but still, I like to be kind of pretty-ish. Makes sense and all that, so... Oh, hold on, and it would be good if we initialized him to not dead again, so set that to false in the beginning. Okay, so let's see. There we go, so now... Running, and I just realized we didn't quite finish the state logic correctly, but let's see what happens when he hits a wall. Boom! Now he flies off the map. Look at that. Perfect.
Wow.
Alright, cool. So, okay. Got a couple things we need to circle back and finish, but that's okay. We'll get to it. Okay, so he's blocked to the right, we kill him. And one last thing I want to do in this kill MC function is I want to shoot him up, is basically make him jump. So we'll say MC.set velocity y, except actually in this case we will have to say this dot. So this dot MC.set velocity y, throw it up to negative, just use jump height again, Or no, let's tap into the energy thing again. So we'll say this dot jump, or negative this dot jump height times our energy scalar, which is this dot energy divided by this divided by thus dot max energy. We're not going to worry about the speed boost or anything because that's only for the actual energy, not the scalar. See if all that mess works. So this should be 50% that we're going to die with in this scene. Boom! Cool! So he kind of touches the wall and then flies off into oblivion. So this should be good. We'll die pretty fast here. Boom! Look at that. That lag at the start is kind of hardcore, but anyways, it's all good. Running, boosh! And he dies. Let's try it full ham at 100% energy and just see how this looks. Yeah, sounds good, dude. So full energy. Bam, 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 boom! Flies off in the map. Cool. Although the contrail is lagging really hard behind him now. It's like the Facebook interview where they made them rip shots while they're coding to see how well they do. Man, that's like my dream interview, Rub-a-Dub TV. I wish that was how life really worked. Okay, you know what? I am gonna wanna, hold on, how much time do we got left here? I gotta budget myself here. We got 32 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Go for it here. I wanna try and make sure that contrail is always covering him. So, how on earth can we do that? Let's say, shit, this is actually a little harder than I thought. Wasn't anticipating this one, but, lifespan, no. Angle, no. Gravity, maybe. What if we just up the quantity to like 4? Something just full ham. Still, it lags behind him though, that's really the problem, isn't it? So I think if we okay, you know what we could do? Let's leave that as 2 maybe. But why don't we offset the position of the emitters to his X value plus an offset of, well, why don't we just, I wonder what would happen if we offset it by his speed. Doubt this would work, but like, let's just try it, because, oh no, that's way too far. Okay, so yeah, no, speed's out, but we'll say plus just some arbitrary value, like 10 maybe, times now our energy scalar again. So energy divided by max energy. Now I know I'm kind of destructuring things and not destructuring things here and there, but okay, so that's covering him a little better. What if we up our arbitrary value to 15? Okay, looking good. So now he's mostly covered until the lag kicks out. Well, okay, well anyway, why don't we, I don't want to waste too much time on that. That's 2 minutes down the drain, so okay, just another 2 minutes, and then that's all I'm giving myself on this. So the minute the lag dies, he pretty much, oh, it's kind of random though, isn't it? Crap, we've got the whole map shit we got to debug left still, so oof, there we go, dies, and yeah, okay, so, well, that's my best attempt for now. We'll come back to like debugging the contrail so that it actually always covers him later, but death conditions, so hitting a wall, falling to death, and hitting a baddie. So, you know, one thing I did forget to do is I forgot to add the actual other animation conditions. So if he's velocity X and blocking down, so you know, we don't even, he's always going to have a velocity X, so we don't even need to check for that. We can just say if he's blocked down, so if he's touching the ground, do that. Otherwise, we will say else if mc dot body dot velocity dot y greater than 0. So if it's greater than 0, that means he's what? Going, no, less than 0 actually. Less than 0 means he's going up, So we would say mc.anims.play mc jump for that case. Now, else if help if I have typos, but mc dot body dot velocity dot y greater than equal to 0, then we'll say mc.anims.play mc, was it fall? Yes, mc fall. mc fall, and we'll loop it even though it's 1 frame. So now you should actually have like jumping and falling animations as well. Oh, cannot read property y of undefined. Shite. Oh yeah, again, it would help if I could spell things. There we go. Here we go. There we go. So now he's falling, running, jumping, falling. It's kind of hard to see because, again, the contrail's not covering his legs, but, you know, I guess a quick and easy solution to this would be to reduce the speed, like the overall speed. So let's configure the min speed to be like 100. Max speed boost is only going to be 200. So that's, hopefully that'll, overall, he'll be running a lot slower and he'll be a lot easier to figure out, or at least watch. So yeah, there we go. Now we can see him a bit easier. Boom. Dead. Cool. Okay, so. Okay, what now? Got our death conditions. I wrote plural, hitting a wall, falling to death, hitting a bad guy. Why don't we just have one last thing in here? We'll say check if MC dies, check if MC has fallen off the map. So we'll say if MC dot y greater than, let's just say 1,000. I don't know, that might be a bit excessive, but if MCY is greater than 1,000, wait, no, would it be greater, or were we looking for, yeah, greater in this case, because that's down, so up is down, all makes sense. So if MCY is greater than 1,000, we'll just say this dot scene dot restart, I think is the function. Let's see if this works. Boom, he dies. Falls to his death, and then yeah, resets. So good. And in gameplay, we should never get to below 1,000 in our actual thing. I actually want to make it a little bit bigger, because that was almost not far enough for falling. That was like, he didn't really fall that long. Again, I really don't know what the deal is with this little bit of lag right as the game is booting up, but it's like Phaser's doing something internally that makes it lag. But anyways, there we go. So now we've got a game that you can basically just keep playing over and over, and nothing really happens at the end yet, but also, but now, okay, I think now the thing to do, we've got 26 minutes left. I think the thing to do now is going to be to debug our map logic so that the map actually looks reminiscent of like the whole, like my theory of the map in the first place, because it's like way off right now. Like there shouldn't be anything generating below the like underneath what you're running on, so I have no idea why it's like overlapping things like that. But yeah, let's try and get that working, shall we? So yeah, and then if we do that too, it should probably span things out a bit further. So yeah, we're gonna have a look. Hold on, let's, I mean, death conditions, we only have one, but sure, I'll say it's done. So now we just have a double jump system. That is something that actually uses our energy, which is something I wanted to implement, but perhaps that'll come later. And let's initialize him to like 10% energy again at the start. It's pretty slow, but our jump is pretty high, so we should still be able to make a lot of these jumps. Yeah, like if he can make that jump, we're basically good. Anyway, let's see here. So we've got our jump, we've got, yeah, we need to now debug our map logic a little bit here. This is going to be tricky because this map generating logic is a bit of a mess, which kind of, you know, lays claim to why we're seeing such random results here. By the way, viewers, if any of you guys weren't here for this, you can play this game alongside me while I'm testing it. If you go to that URL, that should show up in the chat when Nightbot decides to hang out and respond. Just so you guys know, you can play what I'm playing, my actual localhost right there. Anywho, so we're doing a we've got 2 for loops, a nested for loop here. The first one, we're looping over the total islands, right, is the idea. So we should be getting an X value from the islands. So, and our tile X, okay, so this might be part of the issue already, is our tile X should be accounting for not just the island gap offset, but it should be accounting for like the total like distance we've gone. So why don't we say, just like, I don't know, the tile width, island distance, let's say, equals, fine, says Von Murtax. Const island distance equals, let's say, the iterator times, I really should have just added this as a constant somewhere, but the tile size, which is 75 in this case. So now, maybe we'll say, maybe this will work. I don't know. Island gap offset plus island distance. Let's try it. It's looking a little better. It's still layering them below each other, but we actually have gaps. We have a gap, which is good news. And you know what else? While we're here, I want to implement a little system really quick that will just, over time, give us more and more energy. So let's say update speed and energy, and then we'll say this dot energy plus equals. Okay, this is going to be happening really fast, so why don't we just say plus equals like 0.0001? I don't know. If, okay, so if, hold on. If energy, or whoops, this dot energy less than this dot max energy, do something like that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pro curly braces in every situation, so throw those in there. So now hopefully he's going to be slowly getting faster and faster. There is always a bit of lag at the start of the game, so also totally ignore that Nightbot message. That applies to the game that I normally work on, not this one. You know what else? Let's do one other thing. We'll say console log this dot energy, just to see, watch it grow, because maybe that's too small. Oh, right, because we have it, it's not a scalar, it's yeah, okay, so let's do 0.05, maybe, like that. This ought to be good. So as of right now, it's just growing over time. I was thinking we would have like a little item collection system where like the more of these items you get, the faster he goes, but for now I think we're just gonna have it like increase over time, and if we have time, then we'll add the little like collect items and go faster system. But already I'm thinking this map is a bit longer than it was before, so that's good news. It's almost like you take a risk anytime you go under a platform, because you could, yeah, anyway. It's okay, let's see. The map is definitely looking better with that little adjustment. Because I'm not saying like I'm opposed to having stacking tiles like this, but I was just thinking that it would only be like one line of tiles per whatever part of the map you're on, but let's see. You know what, that's almost even slow. Let's just say plus equals 1. Why not? Let's just make him get faster really fast. Ah, that's way too fast. Now he's just going to be full ham. Plus 0.25. Still probably going to be too fast, but whatever. And then I'll stop messing with that and get on with... 19 minutes! Oh my lord! Okay, what's the most important thing that we could do here? The map is looking decent. It's not, like, perfectly debugged, but, I mean, it's better. And the contrail's a little better because we reduced the max speed. Dead. Now, what else can we do? You know what, why don't we... nah, okay. Dead. Say the max speed boost can be a little more than that. Max speed boost is, that's acceptable. 300. Boom. Toast. I mean, it would be good to have like an end game sort of thing as well, perhaps. Or just like a little you beat the level screen, because really we're not going to have a lot of time to build much else. I was thinking we could have time to build like a title screen and everything, but we don't even really have time for that, so... I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm at a crossroads here. I'm not sure what to build next. It would be good to add like an actual loot. Okay. Oh, toast. Does getting the game online so that people can count it or test it, does that count as like part of the like getting a deployment thing set up? Is that should that count as part of my 3 hours? I'm not sure. Technically it's development work, but it's kind of like server admin-y work instead of like game dev work. So I don't know. I'm gonna say no, and I'll do that after my session. But hopefully that's not cheating. I've said that several times now. Hopefully that's not cheating, but. Okay, so we've got our running guy, we've got our map that's slightly less janked out, and we can hope that when we fall into like, yeah. I like that though. Anytime you go inside like a cave, it's like a risk that you're just going to end that cave with a wall that you can't get past, but... Okay. Okay, why don't we get like a percentage? Yeah, that'd be a good thing to have. I'm going off the rails now. I'm just adding like 15 minutes left. So I'm gonna add like a little text box now. So we'll say add percentage UI. So we'll say this dot, or we'll say yeah, this dot completion %, or let's just say p text, no, percent text. This dot add dot text, and x and y first. What is it? X, y. So we want, so x would be window dot inner width divided by 2. Y would be like just some arbitrary number like 10. The initial string will be 0%, and the configuration, let's say font family sans serif, I don't know, just sans serif, something like that. Color is 0x ff ff ff. No idea if I'm getting these properties right. I'm totally just guessing, really. But I think font family and color are the ones we are interested in. And also, we'll say text align. The text align? I don't think they follow CSS naming. I think they just call it align, maybe. If I get this off, I'm gonna just yeah, I'm not seeing our text anywhere. Okay. Okay, you know what? We're referring to some big helpers again. We're gonna check out the level class from my other game. And for that, I probably should have read over the rules a little bit more closely just to make sure that I'm not cheating by checking other text, but oh, I did get it right. Align is right. She got all the thingies right. Stop add text. Yeah, wow, weird. Where is our text? Oh, I know what's going on. We have to say this dot percent text dot set, what is it, fixed something? Set fixed scroll fix? I don't know. Scroll factor, set scroll factor. Scroll factor 0. Still not seeing our text. Crap. No, don't be buggy now. We need you to work fast. Just set it to like 30. I don't know. Put brackets around that. I'm just trying to get some centered text that says 0% at the top of the screen right now, but it's being annoying. Oh, perhaps we need to set the depth. This dot percent text dot set depth 4. Okay, let's try that. See if this fixes it. Damn it, come on. Not now, not like this. Not like this! Okay, align, stroke, color. Color? Yes, font family, yes. Okay, oh. Don't think that matters, but let's just try. Okay, I am resetting the position there, but I don't know why that would matter. Log it, see what's going on. It's text, all right. Scroll factor X, Y, yeah. No. Okay, how are we looking for time? Oh God, we've got 9 minutes. Okay, come on now. Just need some text showing on the screen. Usually that's really easy. What's happening? Why is this being difficult? This percent text, that's what we're calling it consistently. Good. Got the arguments right. X, Y, text, and configuration folder. God damn it, what is happening? Why is it not working? Why you no work? Give it something arbitrary. I doubt that's the problem, but yeah. Damn, what's going on here? Why, oh why? Where is our text not showing up? This might be the end of it, guys. I'm trying not to throw in the towel yet, but this is truly annoying. Crap. Okay, so... Oh, there it is. I just saw it. So it's not picking up the color, for goodness sake. Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, if I had looked, that was something I was doing differently in the other file, wasn't it? I thought I was being clever using the install. There it is. Boom. Color. We got it. It was just the color. It was there. It was just black. Okay, perfect. The universe threw me a frickin' bone. Window.inner width divided by 2, so that should center it. There it is, centered. Okay. Now, let's see. How are we going to figure out how far into the map they are? We've got an iterator. We've got our number of islands. Why don't for each tile X, why don't we say total, so this is where we're initializing things, so we'll say total, or let's say end X, or let's say this dot, game end X equals, or plus equals, we'll say, oh wait, our tile X is always going to be the furthest one, right? So we could just effectively go equals tile X, maybe. And that would be like the last tile would be the last, call it last tile X equals that. And then we'll start it at 0. Last tile X is 0, starts at 0, and then is updated in our loop while we're creating our map until we get to the very end. Then, we'll say in our update function, update percentage complete text. So we'll say this dot percent text dot, again, crap, I have no idea what I'm doing for the function. I think it's update, but nope, okay. Set text, that's what we want. Set text. So percentage text dot set text, and we'll say, first, let's just calculate it, put it in a variable really nice. We'll say const completed equals, what do we want here? We'll say this dot, or, well, actually we already have a reference to MC, so MC.x divided by this dot last tile X times 100, and we'll say math.round to round it up. So that's how much percentage, hopefully, we've completed of our journey. Completed plus percentage. Let's see if it works. 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. There we go. It looks to be working. Let's just see if it's actually accurate about, well, if we can get to the end, that is. Oh, you know what? We'll say if not, this dot is dead. just so we're not continuing to update the percentage that they've completed after they've died, because that's not fair. Uptime. Orange, you glad. Sweet username, by the way, but what's uptime supposed to do? I don't know that I've configured that in my stream yet. So we're at 30%. Oh, we're taking a risk. God, we're taking a real risk going down this low. Holy cow. Hey, 100 and over %. Yay! It worked. So if is dead, and we'll move completed out here. And we'll say if completed is less than or equal to 100. And we'll say else this dot percent text dot set text winner. How are we doing for time? We've probably got like a minute left. 3 minutes left. I dare say that's mostly a game. Oh, we're gonna die. Aha! Winner. Okay, hold on. That's not quite right. Else if not is dead. This dot is dead. Else if, so if he is dead, and we'll say MC dot y greater or less than, what's our restart? 2000. So let's say less than 1500. We'll say this dot percent text dot set text. You dead. And we'll say else. Just to be specific, we'll say else if MC.y and damn it, MC.y greater than or less than. Oh wait, damn it. Should be greater than. Greater than. Oh no. Actually, in that case, it should be less than. Ah, go fast. Otherwise, if it's greater than 1500 or greater than equal 1500. Last thing. This is all I want for the remainder of our game. Percent text dot set text. Restarting level. Okay, let's try it. 2, 3. Actually, one more thing I want to do. Well, hold on, let's just test it. Probably going to run out of time, but I just want to turn the physics debugging off so that we actually have like a shippable game without physics debugging going at the same time. So you dead. Restarting level. Boom. Perfect. So it shows restarting level just for a second there at the end. That's what I was hoping for. So let's just open up our game, turn off physics debugging. Now let's just kill all our console logs. We kind of have a somewhat shippable game. I don't know that shippable is really the word, but oh, hey, you know what? This calls for an emoji party. Don't judge me, I'm not that weird. I am weird, but here we go, ready? And at least 3 hours and time. Wait, have I gone over 3? I hope not. Ooh, 33 seconds, okay. Oh, sorry, how long have we been going for? Ah, shows how long the stream's been going for. Sorry, Orange, you glad? I was kind of in the zone there, but, well, a total of 3 hours, 4 minutes. And we started the, anyways, 3 hours working on the game. And look at that. We made it. Don't know why I paused the music, but anyways, we didn't get everything done, obviously, but hey, not so bad for 3 hours. This is our game. Doesn't have a title screen, doesn't need one, it just, you load it up and you just start playing, and if you die, it reloads and you just keep playing again. And it should be compatible with touchscreens. Oh, we're done. Ooh, you did. Restarting level, cool, it works. Horrible asks, what framework am I using? This is all done with the... Ooh, that was kind of a bug. We weren't supposed to hit that level like that, but... Or the wall, I should say. Anyways, framework I'm using is Phaser.js version 3, good sir. Phaser.js version 3. That's what I use for the majority of my games. However, our boy Rubadub TV is working on a game engine that I plan on trying out for future games, so... Thanks, Rubadub. And also, Orange You Glad asked, what distro is this? This is just stock Ubuntu, version 18, I think. Let's take a look. How do you even check that? Version? Yes, about. That's what I want. About my system. Yeah, I think version 18. Where does it tell me? Oh yeah, right there. Wow, in the big text right there, Kirk. Yeah, version 18.10 of Ubuntu. And the desktop environment is just the regular old Unity desktop that ships with Ubuntu. I usually put Genome on mine, but I figured I'd give Unity another try since it's been a long time since I've used it, and I have to say it's improved a lot since I last used it, and I really like it now, and I'm quite happy just using it as my daily. So yeah. So anyway, this is our game that we made, guys. Probably not the most fair game in the world, but it doesn't have to be. I do kind of wish I made the speeds a little bit faster, but the speed I wish I made the speeds faster, and I wish I made the level longer, but actually the level length is okay because it's growing at like a decently steady rate, like quite slowly, the percentage that is. Whatever, we got a playable game that we can enter in the contest, and we did it in 3 hours, so freaking congrats all around, guys. Well played, well done, well dev'd. Let's see if I can get to the end. I wish I added a little winner screen, or did we? Oh, we did, winner! Haha! Good stuff, man. Thanks, Orange You Glad. So yeah, just anybody who's enjoying this channel, do remember, if you are liking what you're seeing, to give a follow, and we do regular open source game development Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Gotta actually think about that, because I just recently changed my schedule, and actually I haven't updated it on Twitch yet, so I should probably do that. But anyways, yes, if you enjoyed what you saw, do give a follow, do hang out in future streams, because generally the streams are a lot more interactive than this one. Today I was just kind of really knuckling down and focused on getting something built in 3 hours, but generally the whole idea is we're working together to create sort of open source games that are fun for people to play, but also good for creators in that they don't have copyright blah blah stuff restricting them, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Anywho, this is what we've got. Now, I didn't actually check if we're like deployment stuff counts for the Trijam time. I'm just gonna have a quick look. Let's see. We should do a stream where we hotbox your room while you code, says Brogy Kush. Oh man, we could, but I'd be completely useless. I'd probably make the derpiest thing in the entire world. It wouldn't work out so well. Submission's due in 6 hours, guys. Yeah, we're cutting it close. But anyways, theme black and white. Yep. Oh, let us know if you plan to stream. Whoopsies. I didn't let anybody know, but anyway. Oh, I see. Take a note that the time you need to plan, build, and upload the game doesn't count in those 3 hours. So I don't know about building, but I think, yeah, uploading. So I guess deploying, uploading, same diff. So I guess our deployment time does not count for our 3 hours. It's purely development time. It's totally fine if the game takes longer than 3 hours. Just put in your description how long it did take. We will still play it, but it won't compete for the first place. Okay. If you use assets not made during the game, please state it in your, or in the jam, made during the jam, please state it in your game's description. Perfect. Potato shooting game like Duck Hunt. Yeah, man, we could do it sometime. It'd be fun. Anywho, well, let's get our game deployed then, shall we? Since we're all here. Okay, so the tunnel's probably going to stop working here, but... Oh, actually, you know what? I think I can keep the tunnel live, so you guys should still be able to play it on my local host, but, Okay, first of all, let's get all our stuff pushed to the repository. There will be no diff, because it's all new. So we want to ignore our, our node... Whatchamacallit, our node modules. We've already got that on the go. But we also want to ignore the ngrok. So just ngrok. Don't want to push that. But the rest of it I think is good to push online. So let's go git add all git commit. Okay, bro. Have a good night. Give me a texticle this upcoming weekend. Yeah, man. Sounds good. Thanks for hanging out, dude. It was fun. And yeah, I'll do that. I'll text you, man. So, anyways, adds the final submission. Ship it. Ship it. Ship it. Push origin. We only have one branch, so origin master. So we'll push this online, and since I used the ship it emoji, we're gonna just call him out again. Oh yeah. So happy we finally have a working emoji on the chat. That took so long for Twitch to approve that, but that's okay. I'll forgive them one day. So anyways, we head over to GitHub, wrong repository. This is the game we usually work on the streams, but today we're doing a different one. So, I'm gonna find it. Trijam 12. Yeah, my entry for blah blah. And there it is. Adds the final... It's got my commands all mixed into my message again for some reason. I have no idea why it's doing that. Like, what did I type? Oh, I actually typed git add... What? That's weird. Well, anyways, my git message is kind of messed up, but point is, let's head on over to Netlify, and let's get a deployment set up for this bad boy. New site from Git. Continuous deployment, authorized. And we want, what do we call it? Trijam. Our build command is npm run build. Publish directory. Good question. What is our publish directory? Npm run build. What does that actually generate? Output dist is what we're looking for, I think. Doop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop. Let that do its thing. But yeah, I think the directory we're looking for is dist. And... well, whatever. That's just building it locally. I'm not too concerned about... oh, it might be getting confused because we're... oh no, it's just yelling about my size limit, but that's okay. Because my game is too big with phaser included, but that's okay. But anyways, yeah, puts it in build, or npm run build. Dist is our directory, building from master. And just like that, our site deploy is in process. It called it Cocky Mahavyara. Little interesting. Maybe let's change that to, oops. Change site name. Saricden Trijam 12. I'm not even going to give this game a name. It can just be called my Trijam 12 submission. Just give that a minute for it to actually deploy. Watch how it's getting on. All right, once that gets through deployment, we should have a URL where you can test it, they can test it, I can test it, I can show all my friends and bother my colleagues and show them all the great stuff we did. So let's do just that. Let's check it out. Preview deploy. Saricden Trijam 12. There it is. That little blip of lag at the start does kind of throw off the gameplay a little bit, but oh well, we're out of time, so we cannot fix it. You did. Restarting level. Boom. Cool. Well done, everybody. We made it through. We got a game working. Throw this in the chat for you guys. That is the official URL for our game, for our submission for this competition. And yeah, I'm very pleased. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And shout out for Rub-a-Dub TV for hitting us up with that raid earlier on. That was sweet. But yeah, I'm pleased with this. This is a playable game, and the fact that it randomly generates the level every time makes it gives it a little bit of replay value, sort of. Cool. Well, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and try and figure out how to submit the actual game now. And I already shut down my localhost, everything. Good. Let's, submit my project. Take a note that if you need time, or that the time you need, planning, blah, blah, it's purely development. Okay. There are no projects on your account that you can submit to this jam. Oh, do I have to upload it with, oh, that's kind of annoying. There are no projects. Can't I just give them a link? Upload game? Okay. Oh, geez. I've never actually put a game on itch.io before, so really don't know what I'm doing. Don't have payment configured. Set a minimum price of above 0, no one will be able to download your project. Wah, wah. Sure everyone can find. Okay. Oh dear, it is. Ah, I see. So it does have to be on itch.io. Interesting. Well, that's okay. We can do that, I suppose. That's fine. Add external file. Oh. Source code, documentation, mod, other. So if we go, well, you know what, I guess we can just build our game and upload the build, right? My entry to Trijam 12. Yeah, you know what, guys? I think I'm gonna do this off on my lonesome. This isn't super fun for y'all to watch, so I think I'm going to wrap up the stream there, but thank you all for joining. And I'm really glad that we got through that and we actually ended up with something playable, and I just have to go through and submit it before 3 a.m. my time and see if we win. Who knows? It could be kind of cool. I sort of doubt we'll win, but, you know, you never know. Stay positive, stay positive. I do sort of think I should come up with a name for the game, too, but circle back to that anyways. So thank you all for joining me today. If you enjoyed what you saw today, do remember to give a follow here and subscribe on YouTube if you so desire to watch old streams and stuff. I always upload all the old streams to like archives on there, blah blah blah. and starting to make different content like tutorials and stuff on YouTube as well. So yeah, definitely fun hanging out with you guys today. I enjoyed myself a lot, and thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. See y'all next time. There's probably other stuff I'm supposed to say, but I'm tired. I don't know what happened. We just made a game in 3 hours, guys. That was an achievement and a half. So catch you on the flip-flop, guys.